Live from beautiful downtown Bastrop, it's time for the Stage Select, starring Julian Titus and Justin Ham.
What could this possibly be? Seems a lot like a podcast. Wonder what specifically. Talking about video games. With your hosts, you're in good hands. Not more of the same. Now we'll jump right in. So expect the unexpected and more. Now we'll get grooving. There ain't always gonna walk through the door. There just might be some strategy in this. Just having fun with our special guest. Time for Stage Select.
And here are your hosts, Julian Titus and Justin Ham.
Welcome, one and all, to the Stage Select. I'm Julian Titus.
And I'm Justin Ham. This water is very refreshing. Our family water. It's purified for your
Protection.
something. I don't know why.
Yeah.
But it sure is purified. I don't have much of a bit today. I don't have much of a thing that's sticking with me, I guess.
Nothing in your craw.
No, not really. Been looking at houses. That was the thing. Yeah. It's
Man, I don't envy you in the current climate. Like when I bought my house, this is super exciting stuff to start a show with.
Oh,
but,
it's great.
You know, like I've got like 3% interest on my house because I bought at the last good time to buy a house.
Right. Oh, I know. I know. That's basically it. I don't think it's going to get any better, unfortunately. So,
No.
So I better get in now before it's fucking worse than what it is now. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I went to this one house and it had an upstairs and a basement as houses do. But the upstairs, the stairs to go upstairs were the fucking most death trap stairs I've ever seen in my life. I couldn't.
How narrow were they?
I don't even know if. Okay, we talking about the hall size of it?
Yes.
Right?
Okay. Because I feel that like my memory of homes in your neck of the woods is that the staircases are very narrow.
Pretty narrow. I will say that, pretty narrow. But that's not the worst part of it. The worst part of it is, okay, I'm not a tall man. Julian knows this. I'm a fairly small individual. I could not get my entire foot on a stair on one part of the...
that's a no for me.
Oh my god, it was
I wear size 12s.
Yeah, it was the sketchiest shit I've ever seen. And then it also had a curve on the bottom of it, and then the upstairs goes to like the two biggest rooms in the house. I was like, no, this is no. Why would
You're just asking for trouble?
Basically you are asking to die. And there are no bathrooms upstairs either. So if you put your room upstairs, like I said, which are the biggest rooms, had to go to the bathroom in the middle of the night, God fucking help you.
Yep.
God
stumbling
help
around
you.
half asleep.
Oh my god. Yeah. I was like, oh, this is not. Also the house had a random slant. If you looked at it long enough, it was just like slanted. It was like, oh, this is bad. This is not good. But made it fun too.
Sounds like most of my dreams. All my dreams are tilted.
There was something about it. I was like, I'll never buy this, but I'm glad I came and looked at it. You know, it was fun. It was entertaining to see what's in here.
Let me ask you, what is your mentality when you're looking at a house? Are you like, okay, like, you know, the steps, I think is a good example. Sure. Was your thought, when I'm in my 60s, this is going to kill me? Or are you thinking that far ahead?
Not really. I'm really not. I'm just looking at like layout and if things are fucked or unfucked. There was another house I went and looked at, and this is maybe a spoiler for later, but there was a mystery basement in the house. I could not find where it was, but it had a window to a basement that you could see from the outside, but we couldn't find where it was. The person showing me the house had no fucking idea where it was. And I was like,
it's like
okay.
it's like the second season of Dan to Dan.
Yeah, it was
like a hidden walled off room.
Yeah, I was just like, what is this?
That's where the bodies are.
Yeah, it was wild. So yeah, I didn't needless to say, I didn't get either one of those houses. They were both pretty bad, but
so I find that interesting because and this is what I learned as I was house hunting. Because I ended up buying a new house that was new construction. Because that ended up being cheaper at the time than getting a used house.
Right.
Considering where I was moving and whatnot. And one of my things when I was looking at like different like subdivisions and stuff like that, I was like, well, I don't want a 2-story house.
Right.
And then I can't and then at some point, like at one of the places, she was like, so 2 stories out the window. And I was like, well, yeah, I'm just, I'm thinking about getting up in years and having trouble like getting up and down the stairs. And she's like, oh, well, you're young. You don't have to worry about that. Like, this is just a starter house. And I'm like, what? Yeah. Because like, to me, it's like my whole thing. And the reason why I resisted buying a house for so long. And now I actually do regret it, because there was a time when I had come into quite a bit of money.
Right.
And at the time, someone suggested that I buy a house. And I was like, I don't think that I want to stay here. And my thing was like, when you buy a house, you stay there unless like something catastrophic happens and like you're forced to leave because of like a job change or something.
Right.
And then I come to realize like, oh no, most people just like kind of tend to stay. They buy a house and they stay in it for like 3 or 4 years. Like most of the people on my street, I moved in 2021 and this was all new construction. I would say like a good like half of the people on my street have since left.
Yeah.
And new people have moved in. And that's kind of wild to me.
My sister moves, I swear to God, like every 3 or 4 years. There'll be something new comes up or they gotta move someplace and like they always buy a house. Always.
Yeah.
They're like, it's a good investment basically, because you buy one and then when you sell that one, that becomes the down payment for the next one and so on and so forth. And then eventually when you find it, you're like, okay, this is the one that I'm just going to stay at, hopefully you have enough. When you're paying rent, you're dumping money down a hole. Now, a lot of people don't have an option not to do that, and I totally understand that.
Well,
but
and that's the thing that I regret now, because like I realize I threw so much money at rent away, especially when I basically was unemployed of my own volition for almost 2 years, and it's like, if I had been smart at the time, that house would probably be either paid off by now or almost paid off.
Yeah.
Just because I had the money to like just like kind of mostly pay for it. Yeah. And it's like, like imagine if my mortgage was like either non-existent or $400 because like I'd paid so much of it off or whatever. And it's like, I'd be sitting much prettier than I am now.
I just remember there was an older gentleman that I worked with, and I remember the day, basically the month he retired was the month his house was paid off, because he was like, yep, I'm good. I don't have that anymore. So just this is it, dude. Like this is my life now.
I've been thinking about this so much lately, because like not just in America, but there's been like a lot of weird pushback over in various areas about basically just like trying to help people and get people kind of even keel and stuff like that.
Right.
They really want you to pull yourself up by your bootstraps, even though that saying was supposed to indicate a thing that you cannot do physically.
Yeah.
But I was thinking about this, and I've been thinking about it a lot lately, and I've been like, what if just like 1 year, like it doesn't matter who's in charge, but like the president of the United States, whoever it is, says that the high school graduating class of X year, when they graduate, they get a home.
Right.
And it's not going to be like a super elaborate home. It's not going to be anything super flashy or fancy.
Yeah.
But you will have a place to live that you do not have to pay for.
Right.
And it would come with stipulations, right? Like you can't just like turn around and sell it. Right. If you do sell it down the line, you would have to sell it, to like a disadvantaged family or something like that to kind of keep keep it going.
Sure.
But like, just imagine what that would do if you only did it. I'm saying you just do it the 1 year, just that 1 year. That that graduating class that doesn't have to worry about paying rent or paying a mortgage or something like that.
Sure.
What that does to like set them up for the future, and because there's going to be plenty of people that are like, okay, this was a great starter, but now I have like gone to college, I have my career and stuff like that. I want to get
something bigger and started a family, all that stuff. Yeah.
But then, like I said, the house then goes up for sale to people in lower income brackets and stuff like that. So I feel like it would have like this almost snowball effect as far as kind of helping people out of.
You have more faith in humanity than I do, because
it would never happen. I'm just saying, what if though? Just the one time.
I'm also saying, what if? I feel like if they did that, people would be like, oh, fuck all of them. Fuck all of them. We need to like murder them. There would be riots in the streets because
you're not wrong.
Yeah. People would be fucking livid. Like,
people can't handle the thought of like people getting their
student loan debt,
student loans
shit like
forgiven.
that. Just think about that shit. Yeah, and then all of a sudden you're gonna give them like a huge leg up on just everyone. Like for like, no, this would not work. This would not go over well.
But what if it did though?
I mean, that's great. I wouldn't mind that. I think that'd be great. Good for them. But like at the same time, like, oh, people would be fucking furious. those how people would there would be groups of people gathering in like whatever little fucking neighborhoods they constructed for that shit, and just fucking protesting and causing a bunch of bullshit.
Yeah, and probably put a big target on like your
absolutely
your life.
You wouldn't want to fucking do that. Like it would be awful actually, because I just have no faith in humanity. We cannot let people have anything nice. It's just how we are, unless they earn it, Julian. Unless they earn it by fucking everybody else over. That's how we like to do it in America.
You all suck. Not you listening. I mean, probably some of you, because just statistically, it's
statistically, yeah.
But yeah, this is why we can't have nice things.
Yeah, but yeah, it's seriously like I hate that I know that's what would happen, but it is.
Yeah, I've just thought about it a lot lately, or even if you could like do it just like across the board, if you didn't have to worry about housing, if you knew that was taken care of, that one thing, that would like fundamentally change everything about your life, right?
Yeah.
It's such a massive drain on.
I mean, it's that and like healthcare, really. Like if you didn't have to worry about that, imagine all the things you could do if you're just like, oh yeah, I can just go to the doctor whenever, or go to this place whenever, and I don't have to worry about it that much. Like
you're not wrong, but the healthcare thing doesn't affect everybody equally, because people who are young and healthy don't have to worry about it. Whereas housing affects everybody, right? Like, no matter how. No, but you're right. Yeah, I hear you, but
yeah, housing does affect everybody, and it should be a thing, absolutely. But yeah. Anyway, that's the start of this podcast. You're all welcome.
Yes, that's been your socialism minute. Here on the Stage Select.
It all started from death trap stairs. You're all welcome.
Mm-hmm.
Man, those were some death trap stairs, though. Holy shit! God damn, that was wild.
We did talk about this like off mic before, but I am jealous that you are in a neck of the woods where most of the homes have basements, because that's been my dream, is to have like a furnished basement.
Most of them do. A lot of them have basements, but like you ain't furnishing that shit, especially where I'm from. Like they're pretty old basements, but they're there. And you got to go look at them, because that's where the furnace is. And the house with the death trap stairs, I took one look at the furnace and was like, no, that's
where
ancient.
Freddy Krueger comes out of. I can tell.
That's ancient. No, I'm good. I mean, some of those things work forever, but oh no, I'm okay.
Yeah,
I'm good. That thing looks like it's gonna blow up any fucking minute, and then I'm gonna have to pay an assload of money. Also, I think the place was a rental too, so nobody gave a shit about that house for many years. And I'm like, it shows.
There's something to be said about, because I have noticed this, that even though this was a new build, they don't make them like they used to, and I can tell that, like, because my budget was so meager, that I got the shoddiest quality of everything, and there's already stuff where it's like, my garage door is like really loud now, and like I've got to replace a pump. Yeah,
it doesn't take long.
I don't know if I need to like just like put some WD-40 on it or something. Possibly,
or
what.
I'm not a handyman.
Me either. That's why. And like, so my sink is backing up when I use the dishwasher. I need to replace the pump on my toilet.
Although, Julian, I'm glad you reminded me of the story. I'm not a handyman, but I did fix a dryer today.
Nice.
Or not today. The other day.
Too much buildup.
Well, funny story. Funny story. So, I go over to Kim's a lot. I use her washer and dryer a lot. All of a sudden the dryer was not drying, and it is a brand new dryer. This is a brand new dryer. They have a gas dryer. For those who know that those still exist, they do. It's crazy. Because that's what the hookups that they had. They don't have the right electrical outlets to run a non-gas dryer, so they had to run that. But it's brand new. Just like maybe a month old. All of a sudden, just stopped. All this, maybe a month or two old, if that. All of a sudden, just stops drying. So instantly, they're freaking out, like, "Oh fuck, I'm gonna have to return this goddamn dryer." And I'm like, "No, something seems off about it," because I'm like seeing it. It's going through, and I'm like, "No, it seems like it's not venting out right. Like nothing, like the condensation's still in it, fucking built up, and it's just not leaving." So I'm like, "Okay, something's going on." So I consult with a man at work who hooked up the dryer, because I didn't want to fuck with the gas dryer. That seemed like a lot. So they knew what they were doing. I let them do it. They put a new dryer vent in and all this stuff, and therein lied the problem. Because at some point they were like, "Well, you should check like the outside of it, make sure there's not something blocking it, or if it got like dirty or something fell in there or something like that." I was like, "Okay." So I walked all the way around the house, and I get outside, and I'm like, I look where it vents out at, and I look in there, and I'm like, there's a piece of paper in the dryer vent. And I was like, "Oh, I'm pretty sure that's why it's not fucking venting out." So I take the piece of paper out, and I look at what the piece of paper is, and it was the fucking instructions for how to hook up the dryer vent, and that shit made me laugh really hard. It took a while for it to get like stuck in the position that it was, and then lint built up behind it. But
sure.
I was just like, well, that explains it. And yeah, that I took that out and cleaned it out a little bit more, and sure enough, the dryer's fine now. But like,
sounds like the solution to like a Sierra point and click game.
Oh, I gave that guy so much shit when I got back the next day. I was like, "Do you know why the dryer wasn't working? It was because you left the instructions in the fucking vent. I don't know why they were in there. That's a weird thing to do, but
yeah,
they were." Yeah, that shit was so funny. So yeah, I fixed the dryer. It wasn't hard, but good for me.
Yeah. You're already way ahead of me as far as like home maintenance, because I don't know how to do shit.
I pay attention to things my dad says. That's all I do half the time, and he knows. And or if I don't know how to do it, I just call them and they go, "Yeah, you need to do this," and I go, "Thank you, good, got it."
Yeah.
Or watch YouTube tutorials. YouTube tutorials, pretty good.
I realize that I can probably get under my kitchen sink and do the thing, but I'm afraid to do the thing, so I might just call a plumber, because that's just me. That's just how I roll.
What's it doing?
It backs up during the wash cycle, and sometimes even like when I'm just like running water.
Okay.
It'll just do that. Sometimes I'll try to run the disposal to like unclog, and then it just like starts to back up, and then it drains. It doesn't sit.
And it's a disposal one too, so yeah, you probably got to take it apart a little bit. But it's a drain; it shouldn't be too bad. Yeah,
but enough that I don't feel confident that I can do it without
plumbing's
fucking
sketchy, man. I wouldn't fuck with that either. Honest to God,
yeah.
I think the most I've done was unclogged a sink with one of those fucking cool snake things that you can put in there. That's pretty fun. I've done that a few times.
Yeah.
Yeah.
because I would like to get a bidet upgrade for my
That'd be fun.
toilet, but
Yeah.
I don't want to mess with that. I'd have to like have it installed because I'm not.
I think some of them just like hook up to something like on the toilet, but I'm not 100% sure how that all
Yeah,
works.
and they're supposed, like I know like some of them are like, oh no, it's like so easy an idiot can do it. I'm like, I don't think you understand how dumb I am.
Well, you just got to believe in yourself, Julian. That's all you
I
can do.
don't.
I know how that is. I know. Yeah.
Which is why now that I feel that we have alienated like every single person that dared to download this episode, now is the time for me to announce the announcement that I had to kick off the show.
Good.
Which is that the latest episode of the Suffer Select is available for associate and executive producer tier patrons, which is Quantum Error,
Yep.
the horror sci-fi game where you play a firefighter in space?
Question mark? Yeah.
And also along with that is the poll for next month's Suffer Select game, which is available for all paid patrons to vote on over on our Patreon site.
Mm-hmm.
The choices this month are Night Trap, nominated by Dennis Robertson, and The Witness, nominated by 60X Self. I don't want to influence it either way.
Yeah.
But one of these games, I don't want to play either of them.
Yeah.
But one of them I find interesting, and the other one I really don't want.
Yeah.
I don't.
I'm right there with you.
Do not want.
And we'll let the listeners can decide for themselves as to which one that probably is.
Yes, only you have the power.
Yeah.
And also a gentle reminder that the executive producer tier on our Patreon is 75% off for your first month until the end of August, as we do our donation drive or our money drive rather to get an ad run on Giant Bomb, which I now have numbers, so I'm trying to get $500 together to run a week's worth of spots on Game Mess Mornings and that week's Giant Bomb cast.
Nice. That's fun.
I'm not exactly sure yet how those would run, if it's just more of like a quick shout out or if they'll do like, a little bit of like banter about it or whatever. Like I still need to iron that out, but just trying to get the show out to some new people. And once again, our coffee is probably the easiest place to help with that cause. Thank you, Extrian. Just find that link in the link tree in the show notes, and we appreciate it. I've never wanted the show to be like a massive thing because I honestly don't think that I could handle if this show was like going out to like a couple thousand people a week or whatever, but a couple hundred would be nice.
That'd be okay. That'd be fine.
Yeah.
Be all right with that.
Again, just because I think that we do a great show and I want more people to hear it. And that's really the long and short of it.
Yeah. Well, what else? Anything else?
Yeah, I mean, I got up to quite a bit this week.
Oh, okay, good. All right, excellent.
Starting with, got a little bit of a rant go here.
Oh boy,
because I've never been a big PC gamer ever.
No, you have not. Nor to be fair, nor have I really. So
nor you just very recently.
Very recently, yeah. I've always like dabbled with PC stuff, but like the gaming aspect of it, like never was like I never had like a good enough PC to really get into a lot of that sort of stuff. So yeah.
You and I have been podcasting together for 6 years now, and I would say about halfway through you started to get a little bit more into it, and then obviously in the last couple of years, once you got your current rig, that's really where the shift happened.
Yeah, for the most part.
And you've been messing with like more complicated stuff and whatnot.
Yeah.
I like a plug and play. Like even when I had access to a computer as a teenager, when we got our first computer and stuff like that, I messed around with some PC games. I played a handful. I can almost name them on one hand because it wasn't that many. But I've always preferred playing on a console. I like sitting on a couch. I don't know what to tell you. But I bought my Steam Deck as a way to play more PC games in a more comfortable fashion.
Makes sense.
And what's that?
I said it makes sense that you would.
Yeah. And it's been a great purchase. I definitely have played way more PC games in the last year than ever.
Yeah, you have.
I played a lot of stuff, and not just porn. Played a lot of stuff.
But some porn.
And take that, collective shout. Fuck off. And the Steam Deck is really nice. Like, or Steam, the interface is nice for Steam Deck because they do have that whole thing of like, you can kind of see how compatible a game is with the Steam Deck. There's like variations of it.
Yeah.
There's ones where they're like, nope, this does not, you shouldn't play this on the Steam Deck.
Not all of them are super accurate, but most of the time they are pretty.
Right.
Yeah.
And when Addie was on a few episodes ago, she had talked about that horror game with a lot of FMV in it called Dead Take with Ben Starr and Neil Newbon from Baldur's Gate 3. And I was like, oh man, yeah, that game looks really cool.
Yeah.
And I bought it, and I was really excited to jump into it. And it said, like, it was like, it had the green check. It was like straight up Steam Deck compatible, because most of the stuff that I play is the caution, usually because of font size.
Yeah.
And that's been fine for me for the most part. I fired it up one night because I was like, I want to play this at night, because obviously. And it said, like, right off the bat, like, that it recommended playing with headphones. And I was like, oh, well, my headphones are like in the office. I don't feel like getting up. But I started it up anyway. And first thing I noticed was like, oh, this text is really tiny.
Yeah.
Which I find funny, considering that that's usually the thing that keeps a game on Steam Deck from getting the green check. I get the intro, and it's like, little bit of audio monologue, and then you're kind of in a first person perspective, and I go and interact with the stuff that I could interact with.
Right.
And then you get like some more audio, and it cuts to like another scene where you're in a hallway.
Right.
And I was like, okay, like this is already like, pretty good on the creep factor.
Yeah.
And I go to open this door, and there's like a bang, and the screen is black, and there's just subtitles on the screen with no audio.
Yeah.
And I was like, that's a weird choice, like, for a horror game like this early in.
Yeah.
And then I was like, oh, maybe I need headphones for this. Like, maybe it's like so low, like they want you to have like the headphones to like immerse yourself in it.
Right.
So I turned it off. I was like, okay, I'll play this another time when I have my headphones near and play it that way. So a few days later, I get the headphones, I get set up, I'm all set to play this game. Same thing. And then it gets to that part, and I'm like, oh no, there's just no audio here.
Yeah.
That's weird.
That is a little odd. Yeah.
And then it goes to just like a black screen with like music behind it. And I'm like, waiting. And I'm like, this is like a pretty long time for like this like build up. And I'm like, okay, but I don't know what type of the game this is. Maybe it's the anticipation, right? Like they want to like build this like kind of dread in you or whatever. So I'm waiting. And I wait long enough where I'm like, okay, this doesn't.
There's something wrong with it.
If this is intentional, fuck this game, because like this is too long for this to be a thing. And so then I go to YouTube to like look up a no commentary let's play.
That's the way to go.
And it's like, oh, when I open the door and the bang happens, it cuts to the FMV of Neil Newbon doing an audition. And I saw no FMV. I saw
it just didn't work.
No Neil Newbon. And I was like, all right, well, let me go look and see what the fuck is going on with this shit. Yeah. And so I go to like the Steam discussion, area.
The way to go, yeah.
And apparently there's like some version of Proton, which is a thing that I don't even know what it does.
So
but like,
that's I can to explain. Steam Deck works on Linux, not exactly Windows. That's what they use to make like basically things that are formatted to Windows into running on Linux. For those not in the know, I don't know exactly how it works, but yeah, Proton is kind of the magic behind what makes the Steam Deck run.
Okay, thank you. And yeah, there was something about whatever version that the Steam Deck was running that it wasn't compatible, so it couldn't run the FMV.
That's immediately what I thought of too is what was going on with it. Yeah.
Which then led to, since the FMV didn't play, the rest of the game can't play.
Yeah.
And I'm like, that seems like because it's like a minute into the game.
Yeah.
That seems like a thing that should have been picked up pretty quickly.
Yeah.
And it wasn't. And I saw solutions on, get this specific version of Proton, blah, blah, blah. Keep in mind that I had just recently been unable to install an 18 plus patch for a Japanese made porn game on my Steam Deck. I had to end. I ended up just ultimately playing it on my computer.
Right.
There I could actually download the patch.
Yeah.
Because like the stuff it was asking me to do was like, okay, I did that. Still doesn't work. And okay, so can't do this.
Yeah.
So I didn't even want to mess with this again. I'm just gonna. So I was like, I'll let it sit, and hopefully they patch it down the line.
Yeah,
but
Steam Deck's a little weird because of the Linux aspect.
And honestly, and it wouldn't have bothered me if it didn't have the green check.
No, I'm 100% with you. Yeah,
if it had like the caution thing, I'd be like, okay, well that's on me. Like
that's on them.
It tried to tell me.
Yeah, it's on them that I don't know who verifies that. Is it the developer that verifies that, or is
I'm not
it
sure.
Steam themselves? I'm kind of curious on that. Yeah.
I'm not actually sure how that process goes.
Right.
You will see like older games where it's like, oh, this one hasn't been evaluated yet or something like that, so they don't have any information.
Yeah, I'm not sure. That I imagine that would be a developer thing, but like
that's what I would think. I would almost think that it's like a thing that the developer has to pay for to get it.
Probably, yeah.
Steam Deck rated.
If you out there know how that goes, then let us know, because I'm not actually sure. But like the Linux aspect of things makes things a little complicated, because certain like especially FMV, I imagine, would be pretty tough, because a lot of that shit's just files and it's just choosing when to play them for you. And so like I'm guessing Linux does its file stuff a little bit differently, and it's weird, it's complicated bullshit. But I immediately was like, oh yeah, it's because that runs on Linux, and that was probably made to be played on a Windows machine. Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
And
it might, and I really do want to play it. It might be a thing where I just like suck it up and play it here on my, because the laptop that I use for podcasting is actually a gaming laptop, so it should be able to run that game easy peasy.
That shouldn't. Yeah, that one I don't know what it looks like outside of the FMV parts, but it should be okay, probably.
Yeah, I think so. Because I'm trying to think of what the most modern game that I've run on this machine is.
Do you know what kind of card is in it? Just curious.
I don't. It's an Acer Nitro 5.
Okay.
I'm just looking real quick in my Steam library, because I'm trying to think of what I've played on here. Because, I especially don't like sitting at this desk if I'm not working or podcasting, because I also have to spend a lot of time here on the weekends editing. So I don't necessarily want to like.
Oh, it's got like a 3050. It's a laptop 3050, which is like it's
not going to be.
It's not as good as a 3050, but like I mean it's not a terrible card by any stretch.
No. So
you'll be more than fine.
Like I ran. I mean, not that it's like a hog or anything, but like I ran 1,000 times resist on here.
Oh yeah, fine. Easy. There you could probably you when you look at system requirements for stuff, just like look at whatever it says the recommended is, and then shoot a little bit below that, and you should be more than fine. There is always the minimum spec thing, and you can run it that way, but I never like really doing that, because then it just really looks like shit, unless you insist upon playing that game, which some people will do.
I'm looking, because like most of the stuff that I've played on here has been like either small indie games or more visual novel type stuff. I think I did run original Mass Effect on here, but that's a 2007 game, so that's not a really good benchmark to go off of. Anyway, point being, not a big fan of the PC, and then this really rubbed me the wrong way, because I was like, God damn it, this is why I got the fucking Steam Deck.
It's not exactly like a magic thing that will make everything work, but like it's impressive that they got a lot of what they got to run, I guess is.
I had bought Elden Ring when I first got my Steam Deck, and then I realized that that's not the type of game that I want to play on the Steam Deck, which is again a big thing, that my issue with the Switch, just as a concept, is that I don't want to play these types of like beautiful large games on this tiny screen, and so I end up using it for like a lot of like smaller games and the type of stuff that I used to play used to buy portables for, really.
Right.
But I was impressed with like how good it looked and how well it ran.
Yeah,
And like,
yeah.
you know, Cyberpunk 2077, and I don't own it on PC, but that's got a green check on the Steam Deck, and that fucking shocks me.
Yeah, it'll play.
Yeah.
You gotta make some, you know, adjustments a little bit. You can't expect the best out of it, but it will play. Yeah. Well, I'm sorry your PC gaming experience was a little, you know, downtrodden. At least you didn't have to sit there and try to diagnose why every game you owned was crashing and then realize you have to update your motherboard BIOS and just, man, that is the most terrifying thing you will ever do with a PC.
And your system is so new also. Like that's the extra annoying part.
Man, it's why shit happens. Like you got to fucking update some stuff every now and then, and man, that was why it's mainly because, okay, remember when all the what was it, the newer Intel processors, which is what those
ones
have,
that were failing.
They were failing, and they were failing for a reason. They were getting like too much juice or some shit. I can't remember exactly how it worked, but that's what was basically going on. It was sending the shit, but then it would just shut everything kind of off. Like it would just crash everything. So that was what was going on. But the motherboard is responsible for that. So the updates fixed a lot of that shit. So I had, and once I fixed that, it was fine. So I updated that every game I played so far. I'm like, oh yeah, I haven't had a problem yet.
Nice.
Yeah. At least that, but man, I swear to God, it is terrifying to update that thing, because if you fuck up, you break your PC. So don't do that.
Yeah. And the thing is that like in the next few years, like I know that I'm going to need to do something about the laptop that we're recording on. My history with laptops is that they've got a shelf life, and it's a shorter shelf life than a PC. And I'm like, man, like I think I kind of just want to go back to a desktop, because I need it to be beefy enough, because like I do, you know, I mean the audio stuff takes a lot of horsepower to if you want to edit efficiently, like you need to have some power, because you do not want to have it where like it hesitates after every cut. It sucks. I used to do that. I
mean, for those of you out there looking to start a podcast, you got to kind of be careful about that, even when you're recording it. Because I used to have a problem. My sister had kind of a really budget ass old laptop that she was recording off of, and everything she recorded was off time somehow. Like it was really weird.
Yeah. That sometimes, not all the time, very rarely with your audio, you will go out of sync, and I'll fix it. Yeah. And then it goes out of sync again, and it's the strangest thing. Yeah. And it doesn't happen all the time.
Yeah, it's part of doing it like over the internet and stuff like that. But like hers was weird. It wasn't even the syncing part would happen a lot, but the weirdest part was hers would sometimes just like stop recording. Oddly enough, like it was really weird. And I could never figure it out. But like,
the file size was getting too big for what it could handle.
Something like that. I think it would just kind of come out of nowhere, and like, I was like, okay, we need to update you a little bit. So I think
now that I think about it, there was a time, and I want to say it was before you came on the show, where whatever system I had, like it didn't like if the show, like we would usually record the show in two pieces,
right?
Because if we went too long, or maybe that was like when you and I first started working together. There was a time on Nerds Without Pants where I was very mindful of the runtime, because if we went too long, everything would fuck up. And so what I learned was like, okay, let's stop here and save this as point A, and then
I think that was when you and I were doing it, because I remember doing that a few times.
Yeah, and not all the time, but like
I can't remember why, but we were doing it like that.
Yeah, well, because it would, like on my side, like it would crash if it went too long.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, the file.
Yeah, it
would
must
get
have been with you because like the show.
pretty sure.
ballooned
I'm
and
pretty
linked
sure
once you
because I
came
remember
on.
us doing that. I think we had it happen one time, and we were like, okay, we got to really be careful of that. So we started doing it that way.
Yeah.
That does.
Well, I think
ring a
it
bell.
happened twice.
Yeah.
Because, and then it was like, okay, this is a thing now.
This is a
so,
thing. Yeah.
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 Which I think ended up leading to me ultimately moving to this system.
Right.
Like upgrading to this was like, okay, I definitely need like more
Yeah.
oomph for
Yeah.
doing all of this stuff.
Yeah.
So my thought is like, maybe I'll work with Justin about like, okay, what should like help you put something together.
Yeah.
I don't need it to be like state of the art, but I do need something that's going to be like beefy enough to do this. Maybe beefy enough to handle like last gen straddling into this gen,
Right.
maybe just to be able to play like some stuff if I want to, but more about being able to handle what we do, and then also I do want to do more like video type stuff.
Yeah. A good place to start for like video game stuff is just like look up what like the recommended specs are on like games that you would want to play. And then kind of go from there. Like, okay, what do I need to get that? Okay, this. Okay, I need this and this and this. Pre-built is not bad to do because it's easy and somebody will do it for you, and they probably won't screw it up.
Yeah, I definitely don't. I don't trust myself to like get the pieces and put it together.
One of these days, I want to do it. I want to mess with it, but at the same time, like I'm a little cautious about it. Because I'm like, yeah, I don't fully know what I'm doing, but I could figure it out.
Yeah, if I knew the tech more, I'd totally love to do it. Especially now that I've been putting these little model kits together. I'm like, oh, there's something to this.
Yeah.
I don't know if it seems like getting older. That's just like a thing that unlocks where it's like, oh, tinkering.
Yeah,
I didn't give a shit about this before.
Yeah, 100%.
But now I just want to get into stuff.
yeah. No, I'm right there with you, 100%.
Yeah,
100%. But anyway, that's PC gaming.
that is PC gaming.
What else did you do?
This week, I was, as I said, kind of last week, I finished Ninja Gaiden Ragebound, and like I had like a plan of, okay, I need to start finishing some games, and then also, Death Stranding 2 is officially on the back burner for a while.
Yeah,
because I've been really disappointed overall with it. And there is some stuff coming out soon that I'm like, okay, that's going to be a priority. But in the meantime, like, what can I knock out? And so I went back to Last I Saw You,
sure,
which isn't a this year game, but we do have a category for best game not released in this year. And I've really been enjoying Last I Saw You. I've been taking it slow. I find little games like this, especially the ones where they're broken up by days. And especially the type where you kind of want to go and talk to the same people every day. I like to just play those a day at a time. Like I'll finish a day and I'm like, that is my session.
Yeah, there you go.
Because otherwise it gets like way too repetitive with like the backtracking and
I believe
talking to the same people and stuff like that.
Right.
I ended up binging until then pretty hard, and it did start to wear on me towards the end. Same thing with Space for the Unbound.
Space for the Unbound really has it bad at a certain point. You just want to get it. Those two kind of have that where it's like you get toward the end, you're just like, okay, I'm really ready to be done here. But because it's a little repetitive. Not much you can do, but yeah.
And I'd say I'm probably about a third of the way through it, if not almost halfway.
Okay.
And it's really good. The story is not going where I expect it to go, and I'm really curious to see how this thing is going to shake out.
Sure.
The animation continues to be beautiful, and I really like the overall vibe of it. But it's kind of just like my chill game that I'm playing, just in like small pieces.
That's good.
And I was like, okay, but I need something else, like, and I went back briefly to the altars, and I was like, I needed to build this thing, and I actually need to build 4 of them. I'm like, I have no idea where to get this specific material, and I need a lot of it, and I haven't found that material. And I was like, I'll just come back to this later, because I think I need to actually either look up a guide or start over it. It definitely reminds me of like a game like Subnautica, or like there's just those certain games, even like Final Fantasy Tactics, where like you'll get like a good chunk of the way into it, and you'll be like, I fucked this up.
Yeah.
If I start over, I can get back here in a fraction of the time with what I
Because
know now.
I know what I'm doing now, and I know how to build everything, and I know where I want to go with people. Yeah,
Yes.
yeah. I know that exact feeling.
Yeah, and Alters definitely has a bit of that. And
Yeah.
on one hand, I'm like, but it's like a 15-hour game, and I'm like 5 hours in.
Yeah,
So I don't want to like throw that away.
yeah.
But at the same time, that might be a possibility.
I think maybe the part where like for me that's usually a good feeling. I actually like that feeling sometimes where I'm like, oh, I could just start over. Now I know what I'm doing, and now I know exactly how this can go. But sometimes when there's a story involved, like it feels like, oh, but I'm gonna have to sit through the story again. Not that that's always bad or anything, but like sometimes I'm like, I don't know if I want to do that.
It's a lot of the reason why I often don't play demos if they're like the beginning of the game, because I'm like, I don't want to sit through all of this a second time.
Yeah.
Only because I don't know, it's a weird thing in my brain where I feel that I'm almost being penalized for being curious about the game. I don't know.
Yeah. No, that's why the demos where like, hey, your progress will carry over are really awesome, because you're just like, oh, I don't feel like I'm wasting my time here, because Yeah,
more on that next week, because the trailer, or not the trailer, the demo for Trails of the Sky remake came out. It's like the first 6 hours of the game, and it does carry over.
Oh, nice. Okay.
So I'm saving that for next episode.
There you go.
But so I put the Alters down, and then I was like, I bought Wanderstop a while back.
Yeah.
And it's been sitting on my PlayStation. Let me fire that up, because that might be like just the thing.
Yeah.
And I fired it up, and I realized almost instantly that I was not in the right mental space to play that game.
Probably not. Yeah.
Because my immediate thought was, she's dead, and this is her hell. That's where I went. I was like, and for it being like this cozy game, and they're like, just it's okay, like you can just like work the tea shop how you want, and blah blah blah. And I'm like, I don't know what it is about Wanderstop. I'm stressed the fuck out playing it.
That's interesting. Yeah.
I just feel like I'm like, there's so many steps to this, and like it feels like time runs out, and like the stuff that I do, like when I put the leaves out to make the tea balls, I'm like, that only made 2 tea balls. That's not going to be enough.
Yeah.
And I don't know, like I played it for about an hour or so. I really love the art style. I love the setup.
Yeah.
Boro is like
he's great.
Right out of the bat. He's
Fantastic.
like a great character.
Yeah, he's great. Yeah.
And there's a part of me where I'm like, I'm really kind of identifying with this main character in a way where I'm just like, no, this is purgatory. This is hell.
They are laser targeting people like you, the gamer people. They are laser targeting you with that shit, because they fucking know in that game. It's kind of fun. I should tell you to try to make you less stressed out. Like the time limit stuff. Like there's really no time limit, and like nothing goes cold. You can, everything is fine most of the time. Like,
and the game has told me that, but there's something about it where I'm just like,
you feel it does that for a while, and then eventually, I swear, the more you play it, the more you're like, okay, yeah, no, I got it. I got it. It's fine.
And maybe that's an example of the game just being super effective at what it's trying to do.
That's exactly how I felt about it. The longer I went, the more I'm like, oh, I'm starting to get this. Okay, no, this is a pretty chill thing. Like, I don't really got to worry about a lot of it. I'll just do this shit on my own time. It's fine. I got all the time in the world. Nothing's really gonna happen unless I want it to. So yeah. But yeah.
So I kind of put that down, and I was like, the other like smaller indie game that I had been meaning to pick up was Promise Mascot Agency.
Sure.
And I hovered over it, and I was like, oh, yeah, it's a little bit more than I thought. And then, I don't know, it was almost like the universe like aligned, because the next day I saw something online about Promise Mascot Agency, and I was like, yeah, that's that game I was looking for. And then it went on sale. Yeah. Like the day after, and I was like, okay, well, now I just gotta.
Yeah.
So I bought Promise Mascot Agency. And it's all I want to do.
There you go.
I haven't had a game suck me in with like its overall gameplay loop this hard that
Yeah.
isn't a porn game, which, as we've talked about, most of them are designed to just be this like
Yeah.
Skinner box where you're
Basically.
just doing the same repetitive
Time
tasks,
management.
but like
Yep.
but things go a little bit differently every time that you do it.
Right.
So I think Weston talked about this the last time he was on.
Yeah.
And I had seen people mention it online, like when it first came out, but I didn't look at any trailers or anything.
Mm.
I just looked at like screenshots, and I thought it was a visual novel
Okay.
with like some mini games thrown in or something
Right,
like
right.
that. So imagine my surprise to find a fully open world
Mhm.
game where you interact with it completely within your truck. You
Right.
never leave the confines of your truck.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
And it's fucking awesome.
Nice. Okay.
So the setup of this, it takes place in modern day, but it kind of threw me off at first because like the game starts off and they're like, hey, this is supposed to invoke like a Showa era thing, and we have this filter to make it look old. Like, are you
Right.
cool with this looking old? And I was like, yeah, sure. And so I was thinking that the game is set in the past, but it's
Yeah.
not. And I'll get to that in a little bit. So it is modern day. It's very much about like the current situation of the Yakuza, where the crackdowns have become too much.
Right.
And the family, you play Michi, the janitor,
Yeah.
because he cleans up.
Right.
And he's like a legendary Yakuza, played by the voice actor of Kazuma Kiryu.
Nice. Perfect.
Basically, your family is trying to go legit, and they're going to unite with this other family that learned a little bit earlier that they just need to like get into business, like real business,
Right.
and
Yeah.
kind of let the old ways die. And you and your younger Aniki are supposed to broker the deal. You've got 12 billion yen on you, and you're
Yep.
supposed to like do the handoff. And you get jumped by a rival gang that shouldn't know that this was happening.
Right.
And basically, like, they threaten to kill your brother, and you're like, no, don't kill him, like, just take the money.
Right.
And so then, to atone, you take you cut your pinky off, and they're like, that's not gonna cut it.
Right.
And so they're going to kill him, but then the matriarch, which is really cool. Like, I've always wanted like a Dragon game to have a matriarch of a family, because
Yeah,
I
that'd
think
be cool.
that's a very cool dynamic.
Right.
And I'm like, yeah, this lady's badass. Like,
Right.
I want to know more about her. But she basically fakes Michi's death and sends him to this village that is supposed to have a curse on Yakuza men, that
Okay.
if they come into this village, they will die a slow, excruciating death over time.
Okay.
And there's a mascot agency that, because in this world, mascots are just like, they're real, and they're not like people in a costume. They are just like, this is how they were born.
Well, yeah.
So, and they have like, they're born with like, some of them have like supernatural powers. Some of them do like crazy things. Like, one of the main guys in your family is a thumb. He's a mascot thumb. He's a giant
Right.
thumb named Don Key, which I
Yeah.
thought was funny because Donkey.
Right.
And his daughter is Pinky, who is your main accomplice when you get to the town. She's a Pinky, a severed Pinky mascot that helps you with the Promise Mascot Agency. And basically, it's what it sounds like. You recruit weird misfit mascots that don't do anything particularly well. Like, none of them
Right.
have the powers or things that you hear that other mascots can do in bigger
Right.
cities. And you try to put them, like, get them jobs to
Yeah.
make money to eventually like pay back your debt.
Right.
But the whole town is stuck in the Showa era, which is where the filter comes in.
Right.
I think the best way that I can put it to you, Justin, because when I met you in person, it's when your sister was living in El Paso, Texas.
Yeah.
And I went out there to visit.
Right.
And I think I'd asked you this at the time, but that was the old show. Did you not feel that you had stepped into the mid-70s when you got to El Paso? Because I did.
Yeah. Some parts of it are a little like that. Yeah.
Yeah.
There are bits of it that are like kind of feel like that, but then there are bits like outside of it that feel a little bit more modern.
Yeah, but like kind of central El Paso.
Oh yeah.
Feels like it's frozen in time.
Yeah. There's a lot of cities like that. Where I'm from is like that a lot of the time. It is stuck. Like a lot of the houses are very old. The neighborhoods have not changed in many years. Like it is frozen in time in a lot of spots. And that's kind of how I like it, I guess. I'm just like, yeah, no, this is this shitty little town. What are you gonna do?
Yeah, and that's what this town is. And also you find out pretty quickly that like the mayor is a piece of shit. And basically it seems that he diverted this like rejuvenation fund that was supposed to help small towns like this rebuild, because it is a rundown place.
Right.
Most of the shit is closed. There's garbage everywhere. There's not that many people left. And so you end up, it becomes a twofold task. You're trying to rejuvenate this Mascot agency to make money, but you're also revitalizing this town with the thinking that if the town recovers, we have more tourists, therefore more people, therefore more work.
Yeah.
So it's kind of this snowball effect. And it's addicting as shit, Justin.
Yeah, that sounds pretty good. That sounds pretty all right.
And like I said, the main way you interface with the game is you are just driving around in this shitty little truck, and you don't leave the truck.
Right.
And so the way that you interact with things is you run them over. Like one of the first things is that like the mayor has put signs of himself all over the place. He's very vain. And so you can run those over, and that gets you a bonus. Everything that you do in this game filters back into the overall goal.
Okay.
And so it's very much like a number go up. The best thing that I can describe it to, as far as like the exploring the city, is that feeling that I had, and maybe you had too, I don't remember, of going through Steelport in Saints Row 4, where it was like, oh, there's another orb. Oh, there's another orb. Oh, there's another orb. You know, because they were just like everywhere, and the thing was like, it was to your benefit to pick them up, because it was always going to make you a little bit stronger, a little bit better.
Yeah.
And that's this game is like, because like right now it's like I've got the ability to recycle trash on the ground, so now like there's these like pink garbage bags, and I figured they were a thing, but I had to pass them up for a long time,
right?
And it's like, oh no, these give me money now because I can recycle them, so like I'm going after those, and like the whole town has this weird like supernatural bent to it. So there's like these like floating I think, is it Tanoshi, the little paper dolls that they use for sealing rituals in Japan.
I think I know what you're talking about. Yeah,
like there's a bunch of those just like floating around, and so if you touch those, like you get rid of them, and that's another pickup that and they all add like little multipliers to like your popularity or your money or your stamina regeneration, or whatnot. And then of course you're also looking for actual mascots to recruit, and then business people to broker deals with, to be like, okay, yeah, I'll hire your mascots.
Yeah.
And then, you know, you send a mascot on a job when one's available, and you can try to tailor them to the job, but if they don't fit quite right, it's fine. It's just they might not succeed as well.
Right.
And then sometimes the mascot gets into trouble.
Okay.
And you can intervene to like hopefully like fix it so that you don't lose out on some money.
Right.
And the way that you resolve the issue is that you play this weird card game.
Okay. That
resolves the issue, and they're called Mascot Heroes. And basically, like, I don't know if you remember, I think it was in the 2 Ichiban games. There was that like heroes, like that hero service thing. There was like the dude that looked like Proto Man from Mega Man. He had like the red helmet and this business suit. And you would use like an app to like help people in need, and there was like this whole like fraternity of heroes that were just like kind of helping out wherever they could.
I think I remember something like that.
It's one of the side quests in both of the Ichiban games.
Yeah.
And that's sort of what the mascot hero thing is, where you just ask people, hey, do you want to be a mascot hero? And they're like, sure. And you get a card of that person.
Right.
And then they have different things that are better for different scenarios and stuff like that. And it gets deeper as you play. It's nothing. It's not like a Slayer of the or Slay the Spire type complexity, but it's still like a really fun diversion. And the way that I described it,
all right, yeah.
The way I described it to Philip in the Discord was like, I helped a crying tofu mascot get unstuck from a door by playing a card game.
Yeah.
Enough said.
I have it. I just haven't played it yet. I have it on Steam here. How did you end up playing it, if you don't mind my asking?
I bought it on PS5.
PS5. Okay.
Yeah.
I might pick it up there to play it elsewhere. That sounds
can't
fun.
stop playing it.
Yeah.
This is one of those games where it's like, I have put off food. I have put off going to the bathroom.
Ooh,
like,
which
even
one of
though
these,
it's very easy to just
Okay.
pause the game, I'm like, but because I'm just constantly like moving around. It's like, oh, there's another sign. Oh,
Right.
there's another trash bag. Oh, there's another person to talk to. And it just like
Right.
keeps going. And I've played it like too late into the night. I've been playing it on my lunch breaks at work just to get like
Okay.
a little bit more time into it.
Yeah.
It's fucking great. And
You're
it
doing
is
some stuff.
legitimately hilarious.
Yeah. That sounds fun. That sounds
Pinky is, I'll just say it right now. Pinky is on my short list for character of the year.
good. Oh, there you go.
She's so great. She's
Right.
like one of the first things is, and I think the only probably complaint I have about the game is that it's T rated, and they really flirt with that. And I kind of wish
Okay.
that it was just M rated, because like there's certain things they have to talk around where I'm like, I wish you didn't have to talk around this. But when you first meet her, she's like, I just want you to know, I'm ready to hide a body.
Mhm.
And he's like, what? And then she gets like this really malicious grin, and she's like, just tell me where to dig.
Right.
And he's like, let's just try to do things the nice way first.
Right.
And yeah, it's great. And I want to say that like Kiryu's voice does double duty as one of the mascots, which is also great.
Oh, I believe it. Yeah.
I'm gonna have to wait until I get to the credits, but I'm pretty sure that I heard him doing like a really cute voice, which is awesome.
Yeah. That's fun.
Yeah. Oh, and the music, the soundtrack is
Soundtrack's good.
killer.
That's
Yeah.
good. That's good.
Yeah. Excellent game. Cannot
Yeah.
recommend enough.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm just having a blast with
Yeah,
it. So
That sounds fun.
that's been like the main thing for me. The main thing for me, and then I've got like some other stuff that kind of piggybacks off of some new stuff that we wanted to talk about.
Sure,
but
sure.
I'm losing my voice, so
Okay. I'll talk about a game that I played. I played one video game this week. I played a new game called Sword of the Sea. That's what it's called. It's a video game you can play.
this is the one from the Abzu people
I think. Hold on.
and the
let me-
Pathless.
Yeah. Giant Squid is the developer of this game. Yeah, they're the Abzu guys. They made Journey and all that stuff.
Well, that they're part of the
Visionary
team that made Journey
artists
that
behind
split off.
Abzu, the Pathless, and Journey. All right, they're those. I don't know. That's what it says on the description.
The company that was responsible for like Flow, Flower, and Journey. Then there was a split, and
Right.
these are the people that this seems to the people who made like Giant Squid seems to be like the major brain trust of
Yeah.
those games, because
Right.
they've been just kind of cranking it out since. And I don't know, I forget what the name of that company was, but they have not done much since Journey.
No, probably not. I've finished it. I've beaten the entire game. So, Julian, if you want to finish a game really quick, here you go. It's about 3 hours. I think I finished it in under 3 hours. It's not much. It's a video game you can play. It's fine. It's fine. It's not bad. It's not anything amazing. It really falls into that category like that makes me upset when I play a video game where I'm like, okay, this is very artsy. Look at this art. Look, we have all this art to show you. And I'm like, yeah, that's fine, but is there anything else? Like, cuz I don't I mean, it's very artsy, yeah, but that's great. It's kind of like Neva or Neva or Neva. Every time I mispronounce it, somebody gets really upset. So that's why I decided to mispronounce it probably 3 times. That one, it kind of reminded me of that, but like, I guess the difference is like Neva is like more of a, it's kind of just one of those, like it's kind of like it's side scrolling, you have some combat, you fight some stuff, you jump around, the end of it. This one's more like, now it's kind of a interesting mix, at least. Like you're doing like, it's almost like Tony Hawk, but
this is
like
the sword surfing one, right?
Yeah, you're surfing on a sword basically. It kind of, it has the Tony Hawk like hold the aid button down to jump higher type thing going on. It has, like half pipes. It has that type of shit. You can do tricks at some point. You unlock that ability. There's like a score that it keeps track of, but not really. Except in certain little high score areas where that you can find throughout. You're getting coins basically, or some type of currency to pay a guy to unlock more tricks and stuff that you can do. Eventually I got real like to the point where I was like, I don't really care about that. Because I don't think you can unlock them all on one playthrough. If you can, that's wild, because there's probably a bunch of shit I didn't find. I didn't really care at a certain point, but yeah, the problems with the game, in my opinion, are, so like I said, it's Tony Hawk essentially, but it's not just always moving. You have to hold forward to go, which is fine. The problem is like Tony Hawk focuses the camera directly behind you at all times, so when you go on a half pipe, you don't have any issue. This one wants you to be able to look around, so you can move the camera around, and sometimes when you go up a half pipe, you're like looking to the side, and like that's kind of cool, but at the same time, like you're coming down and you're like, I don't even know where the fuck I'm at right now, and the camera gets a little weird sometimes. That's kind of why Tony Hawk focuses it on the back, so it's not, you always know where you're about to land. Not that you can wipe out or anything, like it's you always stay afloat like at all times because you're apparently amazing. But yeah,
on that, there was one thing that I forgot to mention on Promise Mascot Agency. Not that I haven't already sold it to all of you,
sure, but
the truck, the physics on the truck are insane. Where the game is just like, yeah, fuck it. You want to drive up this like super sheer slope? You can do it. Just put a little boost on it.
Yeah,
and like I've fallen off of mountains, and I'm like, okay, so now it's going to reset me or something because I just fell into the water. It's like, no, you can just drive in the water. It's fine. Just like find a place to get back on the shore. And there's a jump, and that's a lot of fun. And you start to upgrade the truck more, and it's just really dumb fun. Like the way that they approach getting around, they're like, we don't want it to be like an issue. Just so it doesn't matter if this makes any sense. It's just have fun.
Yeah, this one, it has a lot of spots where you can ramp it up for sure and do some, I guess, okay stuff. I don't know, like the score not mattering, like it's weird. I don't know what I would have done with this game. I thought about it. I thought about what I would have done with this game. I would have made it like a cool borders with a lot of like wild shit going on in the background, and maybe tells the story as you go. Where this one is that's what I thought the game was going to be, I guess, was something like that, because that's what it looks like in the previews, but it's actually more of kind of, open world is wrong. It's like but it's a like kind of like open levels where you kind of like, oh, you can go this way or this way, and this one has this, you're following this stuff, and it's not bad per se, but like, I don't know. I feel like if it was a little more focused, like it would be pretty cool. Like it does that a couple times where it's just like, no, you're just going downhill and you can't stop, and you're doing, stuff like that. And those parts are like my favorite parts of the game. And I was like, I wish you would have done this more, actually. Like, I think this would have been really cool. But they don't do that. They want you to dick around and try to find stuff, and I'm like, I don't know, it's just a little boring. Like the world, there's not really much out in the world. You're finding these little lanterns that you light up, and you light them up, and then there's water, and it's like, okay, cool. That's, I don't know, that's kind of the game. I don't know how to describe it. It
sounds like a game that had an interesting core concept that they never really found the fun, as they say.
Yeah, it's not bad. Like, I played through the whole thing and was like, yeah, that was okay. I didn't hate it or anything. Like, it was fine, but like, it's very much like, look at this art. Like, man, this fucking art. These motherfuckers are gonna love this art. Just fucking look at it. It's great. And I was like, okay, it sure is art. But like I said, it's not a terrible game. I wish it was a little bit more like that. I almost wish it was like Sayonara Wild Hearts, but like a little less like, rigid on like what you could and couldn't do in it or something like that. I think that would have been really cool. Like, where it's just kind of telling a story as you're going and stuff like that. I think there's a version of this that could work. They also have a lot of spots where like it feels like you can build a lot of like cool momentum, and that's great. But then all of a sudden, like, you have to like dead stop on top of a platform, and you're doing it's really weird. I don't know how to describe it. It has a lot of like 3D platforming parts sometimes, which I found odd.
Yeah. That's always been my problem with like the old Sonic games is they're great when you're going fast, and then when you have to stop to do platforming, I feel like they feel like shit.
I didn't even think about Sonic aspect, but yeah, it kind of does feel like that sometimes. So it feels really great when you're flowing, but like as soon as you stop the flow, and there's a lot of levels that are just like, no, you got to jump around and do stuff now, and it never feels right. Like, it doesn't feel like these two things meshed super well to me. Yeah. That's kind of Song or Sword of the Sea. It's just kind of like, yeah, it's fine. I didn't hate it. I do I ever want to play it again? Probably not. And also, it's like the game's $30 and it's like a 3-hour game. Yeah.
Oh.
I expected a little more from that. Yeah. I was like, it's
I paid
over.
$18 for Promise Mascot agency.
Yeah.
And I'm like almost 8 hours in now, and I'm like, I'm gonna platinum this.
I think if this game was like $10, I think I'd be like, oh yeah, no, this is pretty all right. But like, no, $30, fucking bucks for this one. I really thought it'd be a lot more than what it was. Honestly, I was like, oh, it's got some shit like that, and I'm sure you can do multiple playthroughs and stuff like that. It's kind of made, I guess, for something like that. Like it has a new game plus option, so you obviously can carry your shit over. But like,
and I don't like to always be that type of person that's like the money to hours ratio, but that doesn't sit well with me. Hearing you talk about it,
I could be cool with the new game plus bit if I gave a shit about it. I know that sounds really, really mean, but like if it was like there
wasn't
fun,
a hook for you. Yeah,
there's no real hook, period, I don't think, other than the score. But are you going to play through like about a 3-hour experience? Because they tally the score, your total score at the very end, and they give you a multiplier and shit like that. But it's also a 3-hour game. Like, are you gonna sit there like in like once a day play through Sword of the Sea just to try to break your score or whatever? Like, and it doesn't have the number anywhere on the screen that you can see it, so it's not like a thing that you're watching. It's very strange. It almost reminds me of our Stage Select game where it had a lot of ideas and they just kind of like tried to combine them all at the end, and nothing really seemed to come together to make it that much fun. But look at this art though. Sort of the Sea. I don't really recommend it unless it's like on a deep discount and you're just like, I don't know, I want something to do for 3 hours, then by all means play it. But yeah, I wouldn't pay $30 for it. It's kind of, that's steep.
2025 continuing to be a down year for video games for one Justin Ham.
I can't stress enough. I've never been so like disappointed in almost every game I've played. Like for one reason or another. There's definitely certain games where I'm like, yeah, I want to come back to this and play it because it seems all right. But then I just never do. Then I just don't get around to it. But like the games that I'm like, okay, I'm gonna sit down and I'm gonna play this, I just never end up fucking liking them. It's kind of a down year for me. I don't know what it is. Yeah. Other than that, I didn't play anything else. If I did, I don't remember, so that tells you a lot. I watched a shitload of movies. That's what I did. A shitload of them. A bunch of stuff I've never seen before. Well, all of them.
Give me a ballpark number, because shitload can mean a lot of things.
Okay. I can. Let's see. Hold on. 2. I think I was watching like 2 to 3 a day.
Okay, that's a shitload.
Yeah. So I know after the Saturday after we recorded last time, I think we watched 3 movies. I think I watched 2 or 3 the next day. And then I think 1 or 2 the following other days. So I'm going to try to remember which one, what all I watched. I think the first day, the first movie we watched, and this is kind of fun. I watched for the first time the 1982 classic John Carpenter's The Thing. A movie I've never actually watched. Yeah.
God damn it.
I know.
My Cinemoron's plans just continue to get ruined.
I know. Every time I watch some of these movies, I'm like, Julian's gonna be mad because I know he's got it on his list. But by all means, I will happily watch most of these again.
Oh yeah, The Thing is a fucking banger.
It's great. I would love to watch that again. It was awesome. That is a great movie. If you know, like, I would like for a lot of what I'm going to talk about in this movie segment, I would like everybody to remember that I am a complete coward when it comes to horror shit. So keep that in mind. That some of these, I'll tell you if I handled them a little differently than what most horror fans would.
Yeah,
but
The Thing is definitely way more like sci-fi.
It's like a suspense movie. Yeah, like it's The Thing
with
is
some great special effects.
Oh, the special effects are awesome, especially for like that time period. It's like my favorite part of the zombie genre, where it's just like, oh, this guy got bit by a zombie, but he doesn't want to tell anybody, or we don't know the rules to the virus yet, so we don't know how long it's going to take for this guy to turn or how this is going to affect everything. But like that's what's fun about The Thing is like you figuring out the rules of it.
Now I implore you, because it just came out this year.
Yeah,
you should pick up that Thing remaster of the game.
I do want to. That sounds
great.
Fun. Yeah,
I don't know how it holds up, because I remember the last time I fired it up, I was like, oh, these controls are from a time when we were still figuring out third-person action controls.
Sure. Yeah, I'm sure.
So hopefully Night Dive did a good job of updating those for a modern day. But the core concept of that game is one of the best interpretations of a movie into a video game I've ever seen.
It. I absolutely believe that. Thing from John Carpenter's Thing, hell of a movie. After that, I watched kind of one that for some reason I have never seen, but like it's one I always wanted to watch, and that's Shutter Island. I never actually watched it before.
Never seen it. Yeah.
Oh, really? Okay, awesome. Yeah. We will definitely have to watch that for a thing.
Cool.
That is.
I was always curious, and I just never got around to it.
I was the same way, and I always wanted to see it. I love Scorsese movies, and it always seemed like a weird one that he made. And now that I've seen it, I'm like, that's a really cool movie. It's a really cool movie. A lot.
I think I also always get it confused with another movie.
I believe
that I can't recall the name of. I think it's a Ewan McGregor movie. And I think they're actually very different, but I always get them confused for some reason.
It happens to the best of us. Shutter Island was really good. How did I end that night? I feel like we watched a weird one at the very end. It might have been. I know I watched a movie called A Cure for Wellness, which was weird.
I think I saw that in the theater, but I don't remember hardly anything of it.
Concept is
It's a sanitarium, right?
Sanitarium, yeah. A lot of liminal space stuff in it. It's like younger guy goes. He's trying to get his boss back to basically America from this basically kind of it's a sanitarium, but it's more like a resort hospital type thing. Like he gets there and everybody's like really happy to be there, and there's this weird creepy girl, but it's all in this top of this castle, and there's this whole story going on about what happened at the castle and that all, and it's got some supernatural-ish shit going on and so on and so forth. It's very strange. That one was, I would deem that movie a solid okay. Was not bad. What other weird one did I watch? I watched 1998's Dark City. That's a weird fucking movie, but
I came to that one very late,
Me
and it
too.
didn't do anything for me.
didn't do anything for me either, Julian. Didn't do anything for me either. I have to say, just, out loud, I think Hideo Kojima's taste in actors sometimes needs to be evaluated, because I don't like anything I've ever watched with Norman Reedus in it, and I think the same stands for fucking Kiefer Sutherland, because I'm just like, I hate all of his movies. I don't like any of them. I didn't like Lost Boys. I thought it was bad. Fucking come at me. That movie sucks.
Never seen it.
You're not missing anything. Everybody, I remember a very nice friend of mine was like really into the Lost Boys, and he loaned me the DVD. He's like, "Oh, you're gonna love it," and I was like, "Okay, cool, yeah." And I watched it. I was like, "This is very of its time," and I just do not like it very much. I think it's one of those movies that, like, if you have the nostalgia for it, you're in, because it's kind of like that 1980s version of a vampire movie aimed at teenagers type of thing, or aimed at that young adults type thing. It works for what it is, but just did not.
To me, I mean, it always seemed like if you were the right age at the time, it's a core memory.
It's a core memory, yeah.
That's how I feel about Goonies, which is a movie that I did not see as a kid.
Very similar to Goonies, yes.
And I finally saw it in my 30s, and I was like, okay, that's a movie that exists.
Yep, that's a movie that I watched. Okay, great. Yeah, exactly like
and
Goonies.
when people hear me say that, they're like, what? And it's like,
yeah,
I didn't watch it when I was 6.
I know. Yeah. I know exactly what you mean. Yeah, 100%. Because I come to a lot of that stuff late. Let's see. Yeah, Dark City is a movie that has some interesting ideas, but like it's so fucking cheesy that it just doesn't fucking work at all. I don't know what it is. There's something about it. Like it's if it was an anime, I feel like it would be like, that was kind of all right, but like it's live action and everything. It's one of those movies, if you've never seen it, you'd have to watch it to know what I mean, but it's just kind of, I don't know. It's I described it to the person who showed it to me and liked the movie as like, they're like, well, what did you think? I was like, it was interesting. That was, interesting with a negative stank on it.
I am now adding The Cell to my Cinemorons list. Absolutely. A movie that I think I saw it like 3 times in the theater. Okay. I have not seen it since.
All right.
So I'd be curious to see like if it holds up at all. But
there you go.
That would be an interesting one to revisit, because my memory was like, whoa, that was so fucked up and cool.
Right,
and now it might just be like eye rolly.
Right. Oh yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Okay, now I think I might have 2 more. 2 more I have. And these are fun because nobody's gonna see what I this coming, I guess, especially for a coward like me. First off, we were talking last week, Julian, you went and seen the movie Weapons.
Yes. I
watched the first one of that person's movies, Barbarian.
Yes.
That's a hell of a
so fucking cool.
That's a hell of a movie. I really liked it. Yeah, that was fun. Go ahead.
I was gonna say, like, I kind of don't want to talk about it, but it's one of the only thing I want to say is that, like, it's a movie where you think you've got it clocked immediately, and then it's not that, and then it's super not that, and then it's super not that.
No, yeah, it's very interesting. There's a point halfway where I was like, oh, okay, we're just all the way over here now. All right, whatever.
Yeah.
Sure, why not? Fuck it. I was like, I even went like, oh, he's in this movie? What? Like, that's okay, sure. Yeah, that movie is pretty all right.
Yeah.
I'm actually kind of curious about Weapons now. And I apparently that guy's the one that's going to take over the Resident Evil movies.
John had mentioned, he had mentioned that in our Discord, and I saw a Resident Evil movie. And I was like, I don't give a shit, because like I only liked 2 of the Anderson Resident Evil movies, and then I haven't watched anything since his stuff.
Yeah,
but then when he said that it was from the guy who did Barbarian, I was like, okay, well now I'm
intrigued. Yeah. He's apparently doing them, and the fun part is he's never once seen the other Resident Evil movies, so he's not basing it off of any of that shit. And I'm like, okay, good. That's awesome. Actually, that's probably a fresh start you need.
And I was talking to John. We actually hung out a few days ago, and he said that his approach is the way that the Fallout show is, which is definitely in this universe, but not attempting to retell a particular game's story, which seems to be like the way to go.
That'd probably be the way to go. Yeah, that'd probably be the way to go. So yeah, no, Barbarian was great, and I don't want to talk about it either. If you've never seen it before, it's pretty cool. I'm a coward. There's definitely some spots where, like, I've learned how to watch horror movies now, and that is when I can feel the jump scare about to happen, I look at my phone and kind of just peek up. And then just and then once I hear the loud noise go off, I'm like, okay, now we can come back. And that
how are
that helps me out.
We might have talked about this before, but how are you with like the overall dread?
Oh, that
feeling.
Yeah, not too bad. It depends. Like if I know the dread is leading to like the ultimate jump scare, that's when I kind of watch through like as I'm reading something. Like I'm like, okay, and then I'm like kind of just glancing up as I'm going.
Yeah. Because there's a lot of like dread inducing parts of Barbarian.
Oh, Barbarian. Yeah. Barbarian's a slow burn. And it's really cool. It's very cool. I really respected it.
Weapons also a pretty slow burn.
Yeah.
I have now heard that a lot of people are like the ending is very divisive.
Interesting.
I really liked it, but I can see why people are divided on it. Because there is an element of it that is funny on purpose.
Okay.
But I think some people blew that out as being the only takeaway from the ending, where it's like, no, that is just supposed to be a thing to blow off a little bit of this like overwhelming tension. Right.
Now the next one I will set up a little bit, because this was a long time coming between me and Kim here. We have been talking about a certain film for years that they don't like, and I was always told that it was very, very good. And I was like, well, I'm curious now. And I guess I would just say it. It is the movie Hereditary.
Okay. Yeah.
They don't like Hereditary.
I like 95% of Hereditary.
I can believe that. They don't like that movie. We were talking about it, and they were like, they have a short film on YouTube that they like called The Strange Thing About the Johnsons, which I watched, which we both watched actually. She showed it to me, and I was like, that is really weird. That is a weird little short film. If you've never seen it, it's on YouTube. Look that up. It's different.
That rings a bell.
Yeah, it's very different. It's kind of fun. It's not. I wouldn't say it's fun. It's dark as shit. It's very dark, but like, definitely an interesting concept that they got a good half-hour movie out of. It was pretty fun.
Oh, you know what? I have not seen this, but I watched. There's a YouTube channel I watched called Scaredy Cats that did a review of it. That's how I know about it.
Yeah, it's interesting. It's definitely interesting. I wouldn't classify it as like a really like jump scare horror type thing. It's not that at all. There's really no jump scares. It's just kind of like fucked up, is what it is basically. So watch it at your own peril, I guess. But anyway, Hereditary. I really liked Hereditary. I thought it was actually really good.
And so Hereditary is like, I think the first movie from the guy that did that movie Eddington, which I didn't realize when I went to go see Eddington, because I liked Hereditary and I liked Midsummer, which is his second movie.
Yes, Midsummer is the other one. And like I said, strange thing about the Johnsons is this short film. And again, she did. I don't think she likes Midsummer either, and I've never seen that one either. But yeah, randomly likes this weird short film he made. I don't get it either. But yeah, I really liked Hereditary. I'd almost have to talk to you afterwards just to wonder what part of it you didn't like. There's definitely some stuff.
The very, very end.
Okay, yeah, the very end is a little out there.
Going to the treehouse.
Yes,
that's the part where I was like,
yeah,
that's fucking stupid.
Yeah,
okay.
Yeah.
Like you had me this whole movie. That's it. Everything else.
I will say the part like right before it though is fucking awesome. That shit is so good. Oh
yeah,
my
that's why
God.
I said 95%.
Yeah, that part is so fucking good.
Then again, another movie where I don't want to really like say too much, even though it's an older movie now. It's like, but the moment, capital M is like ingrained in my brain.
Yeah. There's a lot of good parts in it, and that's another one for cowards out there like me that I don't think that movie is really jump scare heavy at all.
No, that it is dread inducing.
It is very dread inducing, like which I loved. I was actually like, I kept going, oh, something's gonna happen. Oh shit, something's gonna happen, and then it kind of doesn't, and or like something does, but it's not like, oh my God, a guy jumped out and it got really loud all of a sudden. It's never anything like that. It was just like, oh shit, this is not gonna go well the entire time. It's awesome. Like I really liked it.
May I make a suggestion for homework, because this isn't one that I would necessarily, or if I did do it for Cinemorons, it would be like way later. But I think it, considering that you enjoyed Hereditary, Long Legs.
I want to watch that one. Yeah, I remember seeing the previews for it, and I really want to watch that one. So yeah, I may.
Apparently, people are not as high on that movie as I am, but I really enjoyed it.
Interesting. Yeah, I know. I think if I remember right, that's another one she didn't really care for, but I'm not sure. But then again, she'll watch Open Water 3. So who are we dealing with here? Yeah.
Got to get in on that Anaconda series.
She watches a lot of movies at work, and I walked over to her. I'm like, "What are you watching?" And she's like, "Open Water 3." I was like, "Why did they make 3 of those movies? It should have been done after the first one. What are we doing?" They're like, I don't know. They just kept coming up with stuff and made Open Water 3. Fuck it. And it's like, that implies there's a second one too. That's so many
reminds me
hours.
that I only watched like I think the first 2 Sharknadoes, and I wanted to keep going, and I didn't.
Yeah, that's a totally different thing. You got to know how bad the fucking train car comes off the tracks. Holy shit. Like 3 open water movies. What are we doing? Wrong Turn 4? How often can we make a wrong turn? Apparently 4 times. At least 4. I think there's 5 of those fucking movies. I don't even know anymore. But yeah, no, it's funny. But yeah, Hereditary, really good. Loved it.
Nice.
I'm kind of with you. The very end is a little strange. I don't hate it. The more I've thought about it, it's actually one, like, if we did a Cinemorons of it, I'd actually really love to go back and watch again. Just to try to pick up on some of the smaller stuff, knowing where it goes.
I have since seen an analysis of not an analysis of that movie, but an analysis of horror that pointed out that particular movie where there are things happening that I did not notice when I watched it in the theater
Right.
that I would like to now go back and be looking for.
And me too. Yeah, there's a lot of subtle stuff. I actually like read a thing like there was like because the ending is like, okay, sure,
Yeah.
so that why not? And then I remember I read a thing that kind of explained a little bit more, and I was like, oh, okay, yeah, I'd love to go back and watch that now. So yeah. Oh man, there's a fucking that's a good movie. Good movie. I liked it. That was my moving watching experience. If I watched anything else, I don't remember it. I feel like there's a couple things I probably did watch that I just don't remember at this point. But yeah,
The Thing is definitely a highlight there for me, and Barbarian also. But like The Thing is just like I also came to that pretty late. Like that was when Netflix was still doing the mailing the DVDs. So this was like 20 years ago. Because my thing when they first came out with it, I was like, oh yeah, because I totally want to like rent a movie that I can't watch for 3 days after I decide that I want it. But then what I ended up doing was, this is my chance to just like start to catch up on like a lot of like classics that people have said are excellent movies that I've never watched, because they'll just show up and then I watch them. So like there was a lot of stuff that I caught up on. So like The Thing was one of them. Yeah. Jaws, which I had never seen. Chinatown. Yeah. Annie Hall. Like there was just like a bunch of like movies that I was just like, let me check these out.
I did a lot of that when I first got Netflix a while back anyway. It's not anything like that now, which is really kind of a bummer. Like but yeah, like it was like that. You could go on there and it's just like, oh, you know what? I've never seen fucking this movie, or I haven't seen this movie in years. I remember one night just being bored and was like, I haven't seen The Karate Kid since I was like 4. Let's watch that. Why not? It's actually kind of entertained by it. I was actually like, that's not actually a half bad movie. But yeah, like stuff like that would come on there, and you would just watch it because, or it'd be like some like kind of artsy thing that you never heard of before, but it had a bunch of actors that you knew. I remember there was one I watched, and I don't remember the name of it for anything. I think it was just on Netflix. It had like Woody Harrelson and Ethan Hawke in it. So I was like, yeah, I'll watch this fucking movie. I don't think it was very good, but I watched it. I remember those two being in it. But yeah, movies catch the fever. That's pretty much what I did this week. We did a lot of movie watching.
Excellent. Well, do you want to take a break while and then talk about some Gamescom?
I was going to ask you if you didn't do it. Yeah. Yeah. All right. Sounds good.
Well, now that he's gone, we can really wrap. Ha! You thought it was going to be Justin during this intermission, didn't you? But no, because I did not need to make my usual convenience store run on the break, because I did that before we started recording. I have made it's a kind of like a weekly ritual of stopping at Quick Trip for a large diet soda and gas station egg rolls. And I actually did that yesterday before we recorded the Suffer Select. And I don't like being perceived. So it occurred to me that I couldn't go to the same Quick Trip the second day to get the exact same thing. So I went to the other Quick Trip on the other side of the highway, and then was deeply disappointed to find that they did not have any egg rolls at that location. So I got taquitos, which are fine, but I don't know. The Quick Trip egg rolls are not quite as good as the Jack in the Box egg rolls, but they kind of scratch the same itch. And I'm really disappointed that I did not get my Quick Trip egg rolls now. So that happened. What else is going on? The stuff that I don't like. Justin wouldn't give a shit about. I watched all of the HoloLive English Justice 3D debuts over the last 2 weeks. The 4 of them plus their big collaboration stream, which is interesting being a new fan to HoloLive and VTubing in general, because typically about a year after their initial debut, they get their 3D models. I find the tech on that stuff just fascinating. Just in general, all of the VTubing tech I find super interesting. And knowing that they did all of these in Japan in the actual HoloLive studio as opposed to just from home like they normally do stuff was interesting. And there is something, I guess, kind of special about your first HoloLive generation, that you get to see them from their initial debut and see them grow and change. And I don't know. When I watched K-pop Demon Hunters, there's these 3 guys that they're constantly in the background. They're fans of Huntrix, the group, and they're always crying. They're always bawling their eyes out at every song. And I've come to find that that's me when it comes to like HoloLive shit. Like with the idol part of it is I'm just like, oh, and so that was me with like watching their debuts and their 3D debuts and stuff like that. And also just how creative they are and how unhinged some of them are. I showed friend of the show, John Gholson, the beginning of Gigi Murin's stream. This household is a stan for Wizard OG-chan. But I don't know. It was pretty interesting to get to see like, oh, this is how far they've already come in, just a year. And then the weekend that we're recording this, like, is the 3rd big live HoloLive English concert in New York, which I was going to pay to stream it, but I spent money on something else. So we'll talk about that later. That'll be interesting because, they lost 4 people since the last concert, but they also gained 4 people. They're just different people. And I'm wondering if they're going to perform any of the older songs just rearranged with different voices, because that would be kind of interesting. Or if there's any like hints or nods to talent that have left. Because it does, as I've said, it does kind of suck that like once they leave, it's just like they don't exist anymore. It's kind of rough as a fan to be like, oh, even the talent doesn't really talk about them anymore. It's just kind of sad and depressing. But what isn't these days? What isn't sad and depressing these days? Yeah. I made myself sad. I'm just going to sit here in silence until Justin gets back now.
The Stage Select is made possible through the support and funding of viewers like you. Here are our wonderful patrons.
Well, Justin, before we move on to some extra stuff, I thought it's a good time as any to thank our lovely patrons.
That sounds good.
Yeah. We appreciate all of our lovely patrons, but every week we like to thank the executive producer tier. I don't know. That was a weird voice I did there. I didn't mean to.
It sounds slightly concerned.
Yeah. This week we have Addy XD.
We have Big Baker.
We have Bill Tucker of A Gamer Looks at 40.
We have Bookie.
We have Casey Curran.
We have David Portnov.
We have Dennis Robertson.
We have Dr. Delicious.
We have Eric Peacock of the Sound Tracker podcast.
We have X-Rian.
We have Game Johnson of Retrofits, which I have not heard from Retrofits this whole year, and I'm a little offended by it. I thought we would have been brought back for the new channel for some shenanigans, Justin.
They said at some point that they were just doing their own thing over there, and God bless them.
Miffed.
Yeah, well, that's fine. We have Matt Jorgensen.
We have Philip P.K. Becker.
We have Raymond Crumb.
We have 60, who wonders how long decomposition takes for human meat.
Okay.
See, the fact that he said human meat and not like a human body, like, now I'm concerned. Do we have to call authorities, Justin?
Probably not. I'm not going to do it. We have Stephen Lobo. You can wonder weird shit. It's fine.
I suppose.
Yeah.
Certain things, sometimes I wonder that I just don't want to actually just like put anywhere, though.
Yeah, I mean, that's fair. They're putting it out there.
They are. And last but not least, we have Xavier Kreger.
Absolutely.
Thanks to everyone for supporting the show. It means a lot. And hopefully we get some new people to help us with my dream of getting an ad on Giant Bomb.
There you go.
So Gamescom is actually, I think, still going on as we're recording this. Gamescom is always weird to me because it feels like it goes on like way longer than not E3.
Mm-hmm.
So, and opening night live was actually, damn, I don't even remember. Hold on,
like Monday or Tuesday, something like that.
Something. It was the 19th. So
okay.
Yeah, that was
Tuesday.
That was Tuesday. Yeah.
Yeah, that was because that's when I went and looked at houses. That's how I remember it.
It might be over by now. It might just be like old E3 was, where because old E3 would be on I think Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday.
Right.
And then things started to like, then what happened was you had some of the studios start to do their press conferences like the day before.
Separate. Yep.
And then some people were like, oh, we're going to do it the weekend before. And so then E3 became like a full on week.
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
And now it's no longer a thing, but that still persists with like summer, not E3 time, where it's like, it's kind of a solid week of stuff and presentations. Yep. There's not a lot to say. I mean, I did watch the thing, and I think there was some good stuff. Again, like I've felt on a lot of recent shows where the general consensus is like, oh man, that was terrible. I'm like, no, there's some good stuff and kind of stuff all across the board. It's not necessarily like just one type of game or all AAA or all this or all that. Like, I think there's been a good spread everywhere. And I think the surprising thing for me was that there was still a pretty decent amount of new games announced at this show, because usually Gamescom is just kind of the stuff you saw in the summer, earlier in the summer, but now people get their hands on with some of them.
Yeah. Yeah.
So for example, like a lot of people at Gamescom got to play Resident Evil 9 and Onimusha, where back during the summer, like only a few people got to check that out.
Yeah.
Little things like that. We're not going to go through this whole thing. One of the big standouts for me is someone is taking another stab at turning Dante's Inferno into a video game.
Why not?
But it looks fucking rad, dude.
Yeah. To
be fair, it is more of a Souls game.
Okay. Yeah.
And it's actually the Divine Comedy, but in Italian. It's the whole La Divina Commedia is the actual name of it, but the art style is really cool, and I'm just like a big fan of adapting literature into video games, because I think that's like a really sorely untapped place to draw inspiration from. Right. And it looked pretty cool.
That's good. That's good.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, we only had the one Dante's Inferno game,
which isn't bad.
Seems. Yeah, a lot of people like it. I've never played it personally. I think that just comes because I didn't really care for the God of War games at the time. They were fine, but I didn't like them as much as other people did. But like, it was a cool game for what it was, and it was more like the genre itself was the thing. Now it almost feels like we've come full circle, because now it's just like, oh yeah, I don't really care for the Soulsborne stuff, but now they're making this one. There's so many of them, but
there are. But like I said last time that we covered one of these, I'm fine with that being the thing, because at least these games tend to be overall really solid, and there's room for everything, obviously, and
For sure.
it just so happens that like things come in waves and stuff like that. Because there's also like, I think it's funny also where like nostalgia seems to hit in at the same time for things where it's like, you know, right now all of a sudden we've got like so many side-scrolling beat 'em ups coming out, where like that was kind of a dead genre for a long time, and actually at this show was announced a He-Man beat 'em up where I'm like, okay, if it's half as good as Golden Axe, which is what it should be, you know, inspired by, that could be all right. But
that could be cool.
You know, that G.I. Joe one apparently was pretty bad, and so was that Power Rangers one. But then the Ninja Turtles one was really good, and the new Marvel Invasion one is supposed to be really good. So, you know, it's kind of hard to say.
Yep.
But you'll just kind of see that where it's like, even, you know, because like also the other thing right now is everybody's making, not everybody, but there's a lot of people making PlayStation 1 era horror games. And look, I agree with that developer from Square Enix who a couple weeks ago said he doesn't understand why people are trying to replicate texture warping and making things look like PS1 games. He's like, we worked so hard to make it not do that. And I'm like, yeah, there's a reason why the games that I want remakes of are almost all PS1 games, because I find them awful to look at.
Hard to go back to. Yeah.
Even as far back as when Metal Gear Solid 2 came out, which was only, 3 years later? I remember going back to play Metal Gear Solid 1 again.
Right.
And I was like, I can't play this. It looks awful.
Yeah. But people have nostalgia for it. Nostalgia goes a long way.
It does.
It's crazy. I know.
Yeah.
I know. Also, I think there's a part of it it's probably maybe a little easier to make some of those games and add the effects to it to make it look from that era, and that adds to it. I don't know.
Oh, absolutely. And I think my thing that I would respect more, like I've said, I don't really care when someone tries to 100% replicate. We could put this game on a Super Nintendo cartridge today and it would be fine. I'm more interested in show me stuff that looks like on the surface it's a Super Nintendo game, but goes far beyond the capabilities of a Super Nintendo. So like that would be my thing, is like, all right, if you want to take that aesthetic of like a PS1 era, do it better. And show me like the stuff that they never could have dreamed of doing on a PlayStation 1. And then maybe I'd give a shit. But
you know, this is not Gamescom, but for whatever reason, what you said reminded me of Octopath Traveler, and they're making a prequel one or something like that. Did you see that? Octopath Traveler 0 or something? Yeah,
so apparently it is a single not single. It is a complete rework of the mobile game that got shut down.
Yeah.
With like all of the mobile stuff taken out of it and hopefully retweaked and stuff like that.
Travelers of the Continent or whatever, something like that, was the mobile game. And I always kind of wanted to see what that was all about. So
yeah,
why not? Yeah, it has the combat system. The one thing I kept looking at when I was watching it was like, this doesn't quite look as good as the other games do, but that's fine, I guess. I'll play it. It has the combat. Why not? Fuck it. Let's go.
Yeah, well, and my big thing is like, but is the story good? You know, I thought Octopath 1 was fine, and then I thought Octopath 2 was fantastic.
Yeah,
so,
yeah.
Like,
I don't know. It might be really weird because if it is the mobile game, then I don't know what they did with the story. You know, that's if they even gave a shit about it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But I am curious about it. That was shown at like a recent Nintendo Direct, but it's coming to everything.
That's what it was. Yeah. I had that in the back of my mind for a while now, but yeah.
This one, I saw it. I'm looking at like a recap from Games Radar, and this is one that I don't think I saw people really mention, and probably with good reason, but I think it's worth bringing up, which is that Zaum announced a new game.
Yes.
And to be fair, who knows what is left of Zaum from, because most of the brain trust who made Disco Elysium have gone their separate ways.
Oh yeah.
And this game called Zero Parades, I mean, most of what they show was concept art. So it's like, I deeply doubt if this ever comes out, but it was nice to see that it's not Disco Elysium 2 because just
Oh,
no.
that would be, yeah, I think they at least got the memo on that we should definitely not do that. Just let that be its own little separate thing and go away, and that'll be fine.
Yeah. But it's definitely like when you look at footage of this game, of what they have to show, it's like, okay, this is clearly...
It's going to evoke that. I mean, they're going to try. I remember a long time ago saying I don't remember what it was. I think it might have just been a random question we got. This was way back in Nerds Without Pants days. What studio, if you could look into the future, would you want to see their next game? And I remember saying like distinctly Zaum because of Disco Elysium at the time, and now I'm like, and then stuff happened, and now I became way less interested in it.
The finger on the monkey's paw curled.
Yeah, basically, pretty much did, and now here we are. I'm still fascinated. I'd still check it out just to see.
Absolutely. And the stuff that I have been interested in, every single one of the projects that has been started up by people who left Zaum.
Absolutely.
If we get more stuff like Disco Elysium, or at least that has that vibe, I'm all for it.
Absolutely.
But the fact that Disco Elysium seems like it should not exist based on the way that development went has me worried about all of those projects.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah. Yeah, pretty much. So
one of the standouts for me, and I don't know if you saw this, Justin.
Probably not.
There's a new Lego Batman game called Legacy of the Dark Knight.
Okay. And
normally I wouldn't give a shit about a Lego game, but it plays like an Arkham game.
Oh, okay.
And I'm like, is this, I mean, obviously we're not going to get a game like that probably ever or anytime soon.
Right.
So maybe this will scratch the itch. And it seems to be pulling from every Batman movie, including like the stuff from Burton, you know, like those and like those early movies, and then the Nolan movies, and then even the Batman. So
why not?
That's kind of interesting.
That's interesting for sure.
Yeah. It's Lego, but then you're doing the stealth and you're doing the combat. It's an Arkham game. It's kind of crazy.
Yeah. That could work. That could work for sure.
So I kind of want to check that out.
Yeah, if I usually see a Lego game come up, I usually just my brain just shuts off. So I don't even pay attention to them, admittedly.
Yeah.
But yeah.
They showed another trailer for Onimusha, and I also saw like some like Maximilian Dude. He had his like preview video because he played it, and that game is looking like exactly what I was hoping it would. And apparently it is not going for a full Souls like you would kind of expect them to evolve it, which I'm honestly surprised and almost a little bit disappointed, because I think that's kind of what I wanted for a modern Onimusha, but it's actually way more in line with the older games where it's much faster, immediate action and more linear pathing with light puzzle solving and light backtracking. But it's looking really hot.
Yeah. I'm just looking at this list. Apparently there's they have a release date for Vampire the Masquerade Bloodlines 2. That's fine. At least that game's gonna come out, Julian.
I will believe it when it is available to actually purchase and download.
I feel like they have to do it at this point. They've come this far.
It was funny because I have no attachment to Vampire the Masquerade Bloodlines. It's a game that I've always been fascinated about.
Me too.
And I would like to play. And honestly, I think really they should have just remade that game and then used that experience to work on a sequel.
Especially because that game, in order to play it, if I remember correctly,
it's legendarily broken.
It's very, very broken. You have to download like a whole thing to get it playable and how it's supposed to be, if I remember right. Like you
and
have
even
to
then
basically
you're going to
mod
run
the shit
into
out
issues.
of it. Yeah, and even then, it's not super great, but it's it's a very fascinating game. But there's going right to the sequel.
Yeah.
I know one thing I read just today was there's like 2 DLC races right off the bat, or like vampire, classes that you have to pay separate for that are outside the game.
It's not even that. They're tied to the premium version of the game.
Oh, nice. Even better. Yeah.
I don't think that you can actually get them unless you upgrade to the premium game.
Wonderful. Yeah. We're killing it.
Yeah.
We're really killing it on that.
And there was a trailer that they showed back around when this generation of consoles was unveiled. I want to say it was either 2020 or 2021. And I remember being like, that looks like shit.
I remember that. Yeah.
Yeah. And then there was another trailer later that looked a little bit better. I will say this trailer looks significantly better.
Yeah.
But again, this is one I'm waiting for reviews and all sorts of shit. But
yeah,
Pat from Castle Super Beast posted something on Blue Sky today, which was just a Reddit post of things that had been removed from the previous game to this one. And the list was weapon combat, melee combat, stats, and it was like a whole bunch of things. And like Pat was just like, man, who is this game even for? And like all the replies were like, this is ridiculous, blah blah blah. And I'm like, no one's questioning like the validity of this. That does not sound, because you're talking about like at that point there's no game anymore. Like if you have no weapon combat and no melee combat, then you have no combat. Right. And there's clearly combat in the trailer, so it's like that makes me question everything that's on that list. Yeah. And I just find it funny that like we're at that point where it's like you can just say shit.
You can.
And even people who are relatively good at sniffing out bullshit will still just like eat it up hook, line, and sinker. And I'm like, I want a source. Like I want to know like where this information is coming from. That doesn't sound right at all.
Just gonna have to wait till it comes out and see.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
Which you should really do for most video games.
Most video games, yeah.
Like I do end up pre-ordering stuff, but the stuff I tend to pre-order is stuff from places that I am relatively confident in.
Yeah. Or it's me pre-ordering it like a day ahead of time just because I'm going to buy it anyway, and then I download it the day before, but then I get all the pre-order bonuses anyway, so yeah.
Yeah. Even like as much as I love the demo for Hell Is Us, I am going to wait to see like what reviews shake out. And
sure.
If it's like a 7 out of 10 overall, then I'm still going to pick it up. But if it turns out that it's kind of universally panned, I'll wait later. I definitely still want to play it, but it's not going to be like a priority.
Right.
That I'm still very, very much like I use reviews to decide, what my purchases are going to be.
That's good. That's a good way to do it.
Yeah. Lords of Shadows 2 was announced. That trailer, it was just a CG trailer, but it was like a really cool look to it,
which I had to ask Julian if there wasn't just a or was it Lords of Shadows?
Yeah, well, but this is Lords of Shadow 2, the third in the Lords of Shadow.
No, you're talking
series,
about Lords
Justin.
of the Fallen.
Oh yes, sorry.
Yeah, Lords of the Fallen 2. The third in the series. Yeah, that's what I was like. Didn't they just make a sequel to that? And then you explained it, and I was like, right, I remember that now.
I do love video game naming conventions, and by love I mean
it's
hate.
Great. Oh, it's great. It's fantastic. There's a Bubsy 3D thing coming out, 4D.
So the company that's making that game said that they were bullied into it for years, and now like they're like, here you go. And I'm like, this needs to stop. There's no universe in which Bubsy 3D is worth playing. And I am someone who actually liked Bubsy, right? Like most people think that the original Bubsy is a piece of shit. I liked Bubsy just fine.
Okay.
But even in the 90s, I was like, we didn't need a Bubsy 2. And we certainly didn't need a Bubsy 3D. And I don't understand how this is continuing. And this ironic liking of shit to make this is probably like the one thing that I understand that I sound like a crotchety old man when I say it. Mm-hmm. But I've definitely been noticing this thing lately where we're becoming slaves to nostalgia in a way that I don't think has ever been done before.
No, probably not.
John and I were talking about this because we were just like browsing at Target recently, and we looked at the toy aisle, and actually this leads into a thing I'm going to talk about. But we were browsing the toy aisle, and there was a Mr. Terrific's ship from the new Superman movie.
Okay.
But it was packaged in like the old Superpowers packaging from the 80s. And I was like, that's cool. And then I thought about it. I was like, I don't understand who this is for.
Yeah.
And I told John, I was like, people like us who are like in our 40s and getting into our 50s and stuff like that, who are still into this shit, like we're fading quickly. Like there's people who just like are getting out of it and they're growing out of it, or they're not collecting shit or anything anymore. And I'm like, I don't understand who this is for, because the kids who watched the movie and want the toy of Mr. Terrific's ship aren't gonna get it.
Right.
And it's just like I feel weird of constantly being catered to, where I feel that like I've been out of the demo for almost 10 years now, or no, over 10 years now. And I don't understand why I'm still being marketed towards directly.
My only retort to this is, I think
Gen Z don't have money.
No, not exactly that. It's my retort to this is that, well, I mean, sure, you're in the market group of that gets catered to a little bit, sure, but there's a contingent of people this age, like our age, I guess, who have children and younger children, and so the children don't have money, but the adults do. So if you can find something that catches that age group's eye that has the kids, right? Like I'm gonna say, like, probably people listening to this show, and suddenly they go, oh, that looks like this thing that I liked when I was a kid. I should buy it for my kid so that we can have something to kind of share. Like there's like this sort of like mental like bonding type thing that you could kind of do there. And I'm gonna guess that's probably what they're going for, or the people that are still collecting that stuff, because they are out there. So you get a little bit of double thing,
Yeah, because I think that's also my thing, is that like a lot of the toys are prohibitively expensive and are obviously marketed towards,
they very much are,
adults, and it's a weird, to me it's a very strange thing. And John put it perfectly, where he was like, imagine when you and I were kids going into a store and like everything on the shelves was like Howdy Doody and the Lone Ranger and like all this stuff that like we had no interest in, but it was still here because our dads were like into it.
The most fascinating thing about this time period is the franchises we grew up on are still going super strong. There's still Ninja Turtles that you can buy. There's still Transformers. There's still, like, people kept this shit alive where they didn't before. Like, you're right. Like, Howdy Doody never came back, like a lot of that shit didn't come back. But like, I mean, there are some franchises and stuff from that time. Like, I mean, Mickey Mouse is still around. Sure. That sort of thing. Looney Tunes, I guess, is still a thing. Maybe not as popular as it once was, but it's still a thing. That shit somehow just stays afloat. I don't know but we don't really have, like, what's the new hotness for kids that isn't that's like on TV or something, has like a television show or a comic book or something like that they're all really into? What's like the newest craze? Because I don't know. I'm sure there's something out there that fits that field, but 9 out of 10 times, like when I look on what kids are into, it's like, oh yeah, Power Rangers. Okay, yeah, I was into that when I was in 3rd grade or whatever. Like it's very weird how that they've found these things, and they've just, I'm not gonna say they're driving them into the ground, but they've maintained them somehow. They've just rode the wave and bring it back somehow. It's fascinating, and it is a little bit nostalgia focused.
It's extremely nostalgia focused.
A lot bit, actually, yeah.
To its detriment, where I think one of the things that really got me on this tick recently is that when I was in Colorado Springs last, they were showing Terminator Genesis on TV, which is a movie that I saw in the theater and could not remember a goddamn thing about it. It was like I had watched it for the first time.
Right.
And the Terminator franchise as a whole has this problem, I think, worse than almost any other,
Mhm.
which is we always have to come back to Judgment Day. No matter what happens.
No matter what,
It always comes back to Judgment Day. And, you know, the big hook here was that Kyle Reese goes back in time, but, Sarah Connor already knows everything. And
there are some movies and TV shows and even definitely video games where one entry in the series is so good that it ruins the entire franchise forever.
Mhm.
Terminator 2 is probably one of those. Like
Terminator
it's
2
great.
should not be a franchise anymore.
Terminator
It
2
should have
is
just
great.
stopped.
Don't
with
get me
2.
wrong, Terminator 2 is great. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
But like it ruined everything after it because it had to live up to that, and it just never could. Silent Hill 2. There's a lot of them. You could go on down the list.
Yeah, and everything has to be a reference.
Yes.
You know, the big thing here is like, ooh, Sarah Connor is the one who says, "Come with me if you want to live." Isn't that cool?
Yeah, that's cool.
And
yeah.
Aliens, right? It's the same story every time.
Yeah.
Except the people get dumber in every movie. It's like, I'll never forget. I mean, it started as an alien movie, but then it became Prometheus. But
Right.
you're a motherfucking scientist, and your first move on this alien planet is to take your helmet off and then stick your face in this egg pod.
Yeah. Well, why wouldn't you do that, Julian? For science, really? How else are you gonna
Sure.
know? I forgot I watched that movie in a fucking theater.
And there's parts of Prometheus that I like, but there
are
there's
parts that are pretty neat. Yeah, don't get me wrong.
yeah, there's things where I wish we could move on, and even with like the MCU, right?
Yeah.
As much as I love MCU movies, they're all being adapted off of like stories that have come before, and I'm like, I kind of want to just see what you want to do with these characters. Like, just let's make a new story. Have you thought about making a new story? Even in the comics, I always go back to Dark Phoenix, and I talked about this actually on A Gamer Looks at 40 when I was talking about Cloud and Sephiroth.
Yeah.
Because I realized as I was reading, you know, I'm going through the Chris Claremont run of X-Men.
Right.
He was never really able to move on from Dark Phoenix, because Dark Phoenix became such a pivotal moment in comic book writing that I don't know if it was his choice or if it was Marvel editorial was like, we need to go back to Dark Phoenix. We need to go back. And even long after Claremont left, it's always a race to return to Dark Phoenix. When they did Ultimate X-Men, which was like a brand new universe, reboot it's like start from scratch. They could not wait to get to Dark Phoenix. Yeah. And they've done Dark Phoenix twice in the movies, and they cannot get away from it. And I feel that way with Square Enix and Cloud and Sephiroth, where it's like, they made a whole fucking series of Final Fantasy VII games to be like, yo, but what if you had some more Cloud versus Sephiroth? Am I right? Yeah. And it's like, that's not the takeaway from Final Fantasy VII. It's a part of it, but that is not the entirety of Final Fantasy VII. But that's everything that has come since.
But that's the part everybody remembers, Julian. Yeah. It is, and that's almost like a corporate viewpoint of it too. Like, right?
Oh, it super is. Yeah.
It's what's the part that people remember? Let's do that again. And that's where the money's at. We got to put all the money into that. So yeah, that's why a lot of I'm gonna guess a lot of the scripts that are like that get accepted, because it's just like, yeah, what's the most popular thing? This. Okay, we need to get to that then, because that's where the money's at. Yeah, follow the money. That's basically it. It's sad, but that's capitalism. What are you gonna do? Yeah.
Tear down the entire establishment, Justin.
I mean, that'd be fun. Okay, go for it. I believe in you, Julian. You can do it. You're the man for the job.
I'm just really lazy and weak. That's my thing.
Well,
I'm like, at some point, people will realize that we outnumber them, right? At some point. I'm not going to get out there on the streets and join, but I'll cheer you on. But you do know that we outnumber them.
But what if it goes horribly wrong and then we have to go back to work the next day?
Yeah.
And that's why we don't do it. That's every day I think about that. It's like, because if it goes horribly wrong and we have to go back to work the next day, that's not going to go well.
I just keep coming back to that Daisy memes. Aren't you tired of being nice? Don't you just want to go ape shit? Yeah. And I'm like, yes, I do.
Yeah.
But anyway, me and John, friend of the show, John Gholson, were like, I brought him his early birthday present, and we ended up going to run some errands at the Target near him. And I was like, let me see if they have a Switch 2, because I've never seen one in the wild, and I don't go to stores very often. So let's just see if they have a Switch 2. And walked up to the gaming section, and like I was like, okay, no, they don't, because that's where they would be, right? Like, it was like, there's the $449 sticker. This is they're obviously out. And then we were kind of looking around some more, and I was like, oh wait, there's another part to this area. And so I looked there where like the actual Switch games were. Yeah, and I was like, oh shit, there's a Switch 2 with Mario Kart World. Yeah, and I was like looking at it, and John was like, do we need to get somebody to get a Switch 2 for you? I was like, no, I shouldn't. I took a picture and I posted it in the Discord. I was like, Julian, no. And everybody was like, no, Julian, yes. No, that's restraint. I'm proud of you if you didn't. Unless this story takes a dark turn as we go here, but continue on. I was like, this is so stupid. Like, there's nothing really that I want to play, and there's not. You know, I'm trying to pay down debt and whatnot, and you know, I know that I'm going to get one of these eventually, because you know I host a video game podcast, and also like there's enough reason for me to go back and play like the Switch games that I thought I didn't really like the way they played on a more powerful hardware and whatnot. Yeah. But I was like, no, that's so stupid. So didn't do that. You know, went home, good for you. Went about my business, played some more Promise Mascot Agency. As somebody who has one, I can attest that I played Mario Kart World for about maybe 3 days total, and not all day. Right. And that was enough. And I'm not super interested in Donkey Kong, admittedly. It looks really cool, but I just don't care. Donkey Kong looks like I would have a lot of fun with it. Yeah, that I could definitely see you having fun with it. It's super not my thing, but like you don't need one right now. You just really don't. And then I think it was the next day or 2 days later, Sony announced that they were raising the price of all PlayStation 5 hardware across the board, and I was like, this is a crazy world that we live in right now. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. You're actually penalized for waiting on buying a console, where it used to be, no, the longer you wait, the cheaper it gets, or you get like free games with it or whatnot. And that just doesn't happen anymore. And I was like, God damn it. And so then what I did is I was like, when I buy a Switch 2, I refuse to play it with the Joy-Cons, and I refuse to take it out of the dock, because again, I think it's a shitty portable, and I think the Joy-Cons fucking suck. And I was like, I'm only playing it connected to the TV with a Pro controller. And I was like, let me order a Pro controller so I've got that, because that's probably going to go up over time too. And you know, like people in Discord were like, oh, I don't think that the Switch 2 is going to go up. And I'm like, it's their fastest selling system ever. And if they can squeeze a little bit more profit under the guise of, the tariffs, we have to worry about the tariffs, and I guess to back up, the way it used to work is nobody made a profit on video game hardware except for Nintendo. Right. If you bought a PlayStation 2 for $299, was it $299? I think so. I think it was $299 when it launched. Yes, because the Dreamcast was $199. You pay, that's what the store paid. Mm. And that's what you were getting, right? Because it was very much a sell the razor or sell the razor handle for cheap, and then the blades was what you spend your money on. The blades in this case being the video games. And it was that way, I think, all the way up until it was either the tail end of the 7th generation, or it might have been the 8th generation with like the PlayStation 4 and Xbox One, where Sony and Microsoft were now making profit on the systems, on the consoles from the get-go. Because it used to be what happened is they were selling them basically at cost or at a loss, and then they would make revisions of the hardware internally that would they would get cheaper to produce while keeping the price the same. Right. And then you would have that big breakthrough where it was like, okay, now the system is smaller and cheaper, but we're also making actual profit on these. And that's how the console cycle would go. But Nintendo, the whole time, they were always making profit on their hardware from launch. Sure. Yeah. And so it hasn't been that way for a long time now, where it's like everybody is making profit on the consoles from day one. Yep. To me, it's like when you have Nintendo raising the price of their last gen hardware and accessories
Yeah.
ahead. Like, it's like, no, this is going to happen at some point. So I bought a Switch 2.
Oh boy. Yeah. Well,
I looked up and the Best Buy near me, like, it had it for store pickup. So I went and did that. And my thing was that the other rule that I have for my Switch 2 is 100% digital. I'm not buying any more of these dumb cartridges.
I don't blame you. Yeah.
Especially with it being like hooked up to the TV. It's like, I don't want to be fiddling with, because like the way I think I'm gonna have to put it behind my TV.
Yeah.
And so I just don't want to have to mess with it all that often.
I get it.
And I was like, man, I've had trouble with Nintendo's account stuff forever.
Yeah.
Because I think Nintendo is one of the top 3 worst video game companies to do anything as far as accounts or anything like that. Number 1 is Square Enix with a bullet. I've got like 5 different Square accounts for different things with different passwords that you need for different things. And
oh my God,
it is historical. It is well known that, you know, that very well memed free trial of Final Fantasy 14.
Yeah.
The hardest part about that free trial is figuring out how to give Square Enix money to buy the actual goddamn video game and convert your account.
Yeah, I believe that 100%.
Nintendo is right there, because they've got like multiple logins for shit, and I tried. I was like, okay, well, let me see. You know, here's the thing that I've got saved, and it's like the password's wrong. And I'm like, I don't even know if this is the thing that I'm looking for. And I was like, fuck it, we're going scorched earth. I made a brand new goddamn Gmail, and I'm like, okay, this is only for Nintendo shit. And so I made a brand new Gmail account. I signed up for a Nintendo account through that.
Yeah.
And then when it came down to like setting up the Switch 2, I was like, God damn, this is so fucking annoying.
Oh yeah.
It was like such an issue to like get everything running.
Yeah, it is a little bit of a pain in the ass, isn't it? Because it wants you to, hey, do you want to transfer all the stuff from your old console to this one?
Which I didn't do, because I was like, we're pretending that this person has never owned a Nintendo system before.
Yeah. I think I did do that. But like it basically was just like my account information or whatever. Like I still have my save games, but I didn't like actually download anything. And I think the reason I wanted to do it is because of the stupid game sharing thing, which I find fucking obnoxious. That like it's like, oh, where you it's like having the game and letting your friends borrow it. It's like, okay, here's the thing. I have my Switch account on 2 different Switches because the place that I go also has a Switch too, and they just they don't have their own account, so I just put mine on it. So I can't play my own fucking games that I own without putting them on, like, because you have to have a main Switch and a side Switch, and you have to game share it, so you have to give it the fucking thing. So you have to have the main Switch near the console in order for it to just play. Where on like PlayStation, I can just fucking switch to my account and play that game anywhere. It's fine. Like they're just like, yeah, if that's cool, as long as you're signed in, no problem. I'm like, okay, great, that works perfect for me. Nintendo, no. What if we made you have your Switch on you and put it near the other one, and then give you that one the game so that this other one can't play that game? And it's like, what are we doing? Why? What the fuck?
And meanwhile, with the Xbox Series X, I downloaded the Xbox app, logged into that, fired up the Series X, scanned a QR code. That was it. And then not only did it have like all, like, you know, my name and my account and my gamer score, but like all of my saves were there. Every time that I downloaded a game, it's like, saves are there. But
saves are there.
No problem. Easy peasy.
I've been playing shit back and forth on Xbox right now and PlayStation. Well, not as much PlayStation because I don't have much on there, but like back and forth with my Xbox. Like I downloaded the trial version of Madden on both of them and played them. Like the save just picked right up, right? Like I haven't played much else Madden, but like it picked right up. It knew exactly how much more longer I had in my fucking trial version and all that shit. I didn't buy Madden. I left it at the trial version. That was fine. But still, like, I was still impressed by, like, yeah, I can just do that shit. That's fine. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Switch? No. Go fuck yourself.
That's kind of the general vibe that
Yeah.
I get with, like, anytime that I have to interface with, like, Nintendo's infrastructure.
Yeah.
The hardware is whatever, but I'm just talking about the act of getting this thing set up and doing the shit. And even, like, you know, because I ended up getting the Mario Kart bundle because that's all they had. I really didn't want the Mario Kart bundle. I find it interesting that both stores that I looked at this week, they were sold out of the one without Mario Kart, but had plenty of the one with Mario Kart.
That's fascinating, right? Yeah.
Okay. I feel that this generation in particular, and I'm counting the Switch 2 along with just this generation, because you got to remember, Switch 1 was last generation. Nintendo released 2 consoles in the same generation.
Pretty much.
They opened the generation with the Wii U. They were the first one out of the gate.
Yeah.
And then it failed so badly that they released the Switch a few years later.
Yeah, sure did.
That was the same generation. But for this generation, as much as people like to make fun of the PlayStation 5 and, oh, lack of exclusives and, oh, the system looks dumb, it's the only one of the 3 that feels and looks like it is new.
Yeah.
And that gives
It
you
has
a new experience.
UI, it's not much new, but it's new. Like, it feels like it is. I give you that.
I think the hard drive, I think the haptics, I think the 3D audio.
Sure. Yeah.
I can agree in addition to just, like, it being generally, like, significantly more powerful, like, all of that plays into it feeling like this is a next gen console. Where
I can agree to that. Yeah.
I felt this way about the Series X, but I feel it doubly for the Switch 2, where it's like, this is a wet fart of a new console. Yeah. Even the packaging, there's, like, no fanfare to it. Like, even the one that comes with Mario Kart, you would think that would be, like, this, like, really cool, like, thing on the box where it's up in front. It's like, no, it's this little bitty picture of Mario in the go-kart.
In the corner of it, yeah. There's also the issue I keep having where when I go to look at for Switch 2 stuff, which is very rare, like, it's generally like I'm at a store and I'm in the video game section and I'm just looking at everything. But, like, sometimes it takes me a little bit to realize I'm not looking at Switch 2 stuff, I'm looking at Switch 1 stuff.
Oh yeah.
Because it's just it's the same, everything's the same except the 2, and sometimes I'm like, oh, but everything looks like identical, really.
Yeah, and the interface is identical, and maybe I wouldn't feel this way as strongly if I hadn't bought a Switch OLED, but it really does just feel like it feels like the PlayStation Pro to the regular edition. A lot
of that, unfortunately, though, is probably not going to change.
Oh, it's not, and I get it. It's the most popular system that they ever had, and we're stuck in this hell now.
I mean, think of it in terms of phones. Once phones phones used to be like when they first started, cell phones started becoming popular, there was all sorts of fucking wild ass phones. There was the ones with, like, the slide keyboards and all sorts of fucking shit. Everybody was trying to figure out what was going to catch on, and then smartphones kind of won the day. And now every smartphone is, like, identical. Doesn't matter what model you get, it feels the same as your last phone, pretty much. You can figure it out pretty quick. Even if there'll be subtle changes, and most of the time when there's a subtle change, you're annoyed by it. At least if you're me. But, like, so that, and that's how people are. And I think that's why a lot of the UI stuff remains the same for a lot of stuff. There's things on Nintendo's end that just should be better, but they just don't fucking change because.
And that's one of my big annoyances, because, like, there's so many people who are like, this is absolutely fine, blah blah blah, and it's like, you're only saying that because it's Nintendo. Like, it's the Bethesda thing where it's like you can ask for better. It's okay. Yeah. Like, it should not be this way anymore. Like, oh, perfect example. So when I signed up for my Nintendo account, I had to put a nickname in. And I was like, okay, this is the nickname that I want. Yeah. Because my thing was like, Nestor Lincoln. Like, Nestor from the old Nintendo Power comics, and then Howard Lincoln, who was, like, an actual bigwig at Nintendo, but also in Nintendo Power comics.
Sure.
And I was like, this will be Nestor Lincoln. And then I had to, like, abbreviate to Nestor Link because Nintendo.
Yeah.
But then when I set up the fucking Switch 2, I had to put a a nickname. And I was like, what was the purpose of putting a nickname when I made the account then?
Yeah.
I don't understand. And so the thing is, so I had, like I said, I'd ordered the Pro Controller before I got the Switch 2, and the Pro Controller wasn't coming until Tuesday. And I was like,
sure.
At least I'll set it up because I know I'm going to have to do that in handheld mode
Yeah,
anyway.
Yeah, you do. Pretty much.
And so I was doing that this afternoon, and it comes disassembled. And so I put the Joy-Cons in the thing.
Yeah.
And I was like, all right, that is a pretty satisfying feeling.
It is. I have to say the magnetic bit is pretty nice.
Feels way better than the old Switch. And I was like, okay, never doing that again because I'm not using these fucking things.
Yeah.
And then when you're setting up the Switch, they're like, hey, you got to take these off of the Switch too because we wanted to show you how to do it. I'm like, I don't want to. And they're like, no, but you gotta. Yeah. I was like, okay, let's do this. And putting the Joy-Cons on the Switch 2, super satisfying. It clicks so good. Taking them off feels like shit, and it feels like they're gonna break.
It feels like they're gonna break. Yeah, you gotta. Isn't there like a?
There's a button, but it doesn't have very much give, and
no,
it feels like I've really got to like yank on it to get it out of there. And so once I satisfied the Switch, I was like, all right, now these are going on here and never coming back off.
Yeah,
because fuck you.
You have to do that little opening fucking gambit with that shit to make it fucking work the way you want it. Yeah, it's weird. I thought the setup was kind of it's made for people that like have never set something like that up and don't know all the stuff. I get it, but like, yeah, I wish there was a way to just be like, hey, did you own the other one of these? It's kind of the same. You can figure it out probably. I wish there was just an option you could click to just like let's just keep this fucking moving. I don't know.
Yeah. And I'll get to that with games also in a second, but like, and then, you know, obviously I was like, okay, let me get the account set up and that was a whole ordeal. And then I was like, okay, let me download Mario Kart, which to its credit, that was pretty cool because it's like, there wasn't a code I had to put in or anything like that.
No,
it just knew.
It knows. There is a version. It's weird. There is a version of it that comes with like a coded version of it. I
did hear
that.
Yeah.
I don't know how to explain it, but it is a thing.
Yeah. But when I went to go download it, like because of like the weird way that Nintendo does everything, I pressed the button and it took me to all the legalese and I was like, all right, accept. Yeah. And then it didn't do anything. And then I realized, it's because that screen, you have to scroll all the way down.
And there's the download button. Oh boy, yeah. They love doing that little bullshit.
So
I'm used to that because
so
2K, like every like 2K or EA Sports game makes you do that shit. I'm just like, oh my God. I almost automatically do it now. But
to download the game, I get that for when you're starting the game up.
To download it.
Yeah, just to download it. Yeah.
That's fascinating.
It was so weirand
I didn't think about that.
So I did, I was like, okay, well, my controller isn't here yet, but I'll just go ahead and fire up Mario Kart World just to say that, like, and I was like, hey, it's gorgeous. Like, it's really
it's a very
nice.
Pretty game. Yeah, it is.
I do find it funny though, from the company that over tutorializes everything. It's weird to me that this game tutorializes nothing.
Yeah, no,
I'm like, okay, racing game. Let's get into a race, and then we're gonna fire off this starting line. We're gonna hit the gas after the second light, as is tradition. Yeah. So I start pulling on that right trigger because racing game, and then I proceed to not go anywhere, and I'm like, what? And so then I press like I forget which button. I think it was the B button, and I'm like, oh, that's the gas? Yeah. Are you fucking kidding me?
Nope, they're not. Oh, I know. That's Mario Kart. That's the game we all love, Julian.
So it was different than the way that you told me it was, because originally what I thought when they first showed the game was the races are taking you from point A to point B to point C, and you're going through the world.
Sure.
But then, when I talked to you, I got the impression that it's like, oh no, they're just like individual tracks like it's always been. And I was like, oh, that's weird. But actually what it is that you do a race, and then the second race in the cup is actually you traveling to the third race.
Yeah, for the most part, but they are kind of like their own like separate tracks, I guess.
Yeah, it's definitely not the world thing that I was expecting it to be. It's not like a Burnout Paradise where everything kind of flows in and out of each other.
There is an open world part of it. I don't know if you messed with that at all. I did. Yeah, okay. Yeah. But like it's not very interesting, but yeah, it's there.
So I played 2 races, and to be fair, it was on 50cc, and maybe that's on me. And I was like, both of the races, I was so far ahead that even when I got hit by like a blue shell or whatever, there was no way they were catching up to me. And I was like, okay, that's good. And then I backed out of that. I was like, let me try this free roam thing. And to be fair, it is kind of cool where it's just like the last character that you picked is just driving around. And then when you click free roam, it just gets you into there and you just pick up. And I was like, that's pretty nifty.
It's neat. It is neat.
And then I was like, oh, but this place, there's not shit to do here.
No.
And so I think I played Mario Kart World for about 15 minutes and I was bored out of my mind at the end of it.
About right. Yeah, that's about right. Yeah. I played the races for something to do.
It's a great game. If I was 14 again, like I was when I played Mario Kart 1, or no, I think I was 12. Yeah. If I was 12 again, like I was when I played the original Mario Kart, I'd probably be all about it.
Yeah.
But it takes a lot more for a racing game to hook me. And
I mean,
it's gorgeous. I think the music is great. I love the characters. Like there's a ton of characters to choose from. It's cool.
I had a good time playing it 4 players. That was actually really fun.
If I had more people to play with, that might be a different thing.
Yeah, but it's tough to get that many people and have all the stuff to do it, like, and do it right, because
especially with the controllers being as expensive as they are now.
They're expensive. Yeah, they're not cheap. But yeah, some don't ask me how we assembled the fucking Rubicon of 4 controllers for the Switch and played that. It worked out, and without having to make anybody do the weird little controller too, which I was impressed by.
Yeah, and that's the thing, right? Is that like I didn't even unpack the housing for the Joy-Cons. Like that is in the box.
We did have to use that, but like that's acceptable, I guess, acceptable-ish.
Yeah, I just
not my favorite.
I'm not interested in using the mouse feature or anything like that. And again, as I've said for years, I really hate that Nintendo will not let the motion control thing go.
They sure won't.
Unless they're doing VR, I don't see the point in motion control.
I don't. No, I never do either. I even get annoyed by it on PlayStation sometimes when it comes up.
Yeah, me too. For sure. I know that I'm sounding like way down on it. I think it's just that like I especially from Nintendo.
No, I
want
when
more
I played
excitement.
it, I sounded down on it too. I get it. Like it's just not that exciting. It's just really not.
But my Pro controller actually arrived today, which was
cool.
like way early. So I'll probably mess with some more Mario Kart over the weekend. I almost pulled the trigger on Donkey Kong, but I'm like, man, I already charged a lot. So I don't know if I should, but we'll see. But it is funny because I was like, but promise Mascot Agency though.
Yeah.
Because I could have played more Mario Kart after work and I was like, no, promise Mascot Agency.
Yeah. It says a lot. It really does.
But, I do want to mess around with it. I think I might actually spring for the online with the expansion pack because of like the older games and stuff like that. And then also you get like the upgrades free for the games because I think the upgrade price that they're asking is fucking ridiculous.
It's insane. Yeah.
Xbox, like it's still like, no, if you bought the old one, you get the new one. It's fine. And then Sony, it was like, I think the first 2 years and then it was like, and now it's the $10 upgrade path, which isn't, that's still not great, but that's a far cry better than 20.
That's fine. Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
Especially when it's like, so you're telling me that a launch Switch 1 game costs $80 now.
Yeah, it's
to play it on Julian. The Switch 2.
It's worth it. It's Nintendo. Okay.
Oh man.
It's worth it.
Holy shit, dude.
Yeah, I know.
And I was going to download like some demos from the store and I couldn't find where the demos were.
Yeah, I got no idea.
And look, everybody this is a problem everywhere, but it seems worse on the Switch too. I was like, every single game in this shop is just AI slop.
Oh, a lot of it is, yeah. The Switch is the Switch library is pretty wild with some of that stuff. Like,
Yeah.
and it's not. I think its biggest problem. I mean, they all kind of have this to some degree, but like the Switch is like it shows you a lot of games, and it's just like a screen, like a one little picture and the name of the game, and like then you click on it and Switch the filter. Whatever the hell their approval system is, like you don't need much to get a Switch game, apparently.
We're so far removed from the Nintendo seal of quality, it's not even funny.
You know what I mean? Like it's wild. Like, yeah, like I mean, I've seen some wild shit on PlayStation and Xbox both. Don't get me
it's a
wrong,
problem
but
everywhere.
It is 100%.
Absolutely.
Especially on Nintendo seems just wild. Every time I've gone through just the raw, unfiltered store, I'm like, wow, there's a lot of garbage on here.
Mm-hmm.
And that was even before like the AI stuff started to hit. I was just like, wow, there's a lot of shit I would never even dream about buying because it looks terrible.
Yeah.
And I like bad games sometimes. But yeah. Well, you bought a Switch too, Julian. It'll pay off maybe. Or it won't.
I'm really looking forward to playing Donkey Kong. Like,
yeah,
honestly,
I think
if Donkey Kong had launched with the system, it would have been a lot more difficult for me to not want to try to seek one out right away, because that game is a system seller to me, and I still maintain like y'all should have just pushed the launch a month.
Yeah,
and I get wanting to have games kind of coming out in the months following a console launch, but when you only have one game,
you need a couple, right? That's what I think too. It's
Nintendo
weird.
64 at least had 2.
Yeah, you know.
That's it for that. But before we get out of here, we do have some comments, questions, and concerns.
Okay.
If you have comments, questions, or concerns, there's plenty of ways to get at us. You can email us. The email address is thestageselectpod@gmail.com.
Great.
You can comment on the show posts on Patreon or on YouTube.
Mm-hmm.
Or you can join our Discord, and there's a channel in there for comments, questions, and concerns. I asked last week for more people to join the Discord, and somebody left, so that I took that personally.
Well, there you go.
But we're going to start things off with a comment from YouTube on last week's episode from Thorand Plays, who says, the bit about the McDonald's lore and needing to bring back Ronald McDonald mentions had me laughing out loud at work.
Okay.
So thank you.
Was that me mostly talking about that? Was that my solo bit? I can't even remember now.
And then we got into like a lot of McDonald's
got into
lore.
it because you're right. You came back, yeah, and I was like, all right, we're here now. Let's do it.
My friend Blissy corrected me that the bird's name was Birdie, which I did remember that after the fact.
Yeah.
Mayor McCheese is actually the quarter pounder, and then the cop was Officer Big Mac.
Right.
So he was the Big Mac. And she did mention the Fry Guys, which I knew about, but I never cared about the Fry Guys.
Yeah, I kind of remember that though.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
And the chicken and the McNuggets, I forget what I think they just call them the McNuggets.
They were just the McNuggets, I think. Yeah.
Because I actually remember when they weren't there, because the McNuggets, I'm older than Chicken McNuggets.
That's something.
Oh man, that's the title.
Yeah. You're older than Chicken McNuggets? Yeah, that's the title. Yeah.
Yeah. Hold on, I'm jotting that down right now.
Yeah, go ahead. I'm glad they liked the bit. That's fun.
Yeah, thank you.
It was a good bit. Good old McDonald's.
Good old McDonald's.
Yeah.
Now heading back over to Discord.
Mm-hmm.
Hold on, because I think I missed one.
last time?
I think so. I think it got a little bit buried.
I know which one you didn't read last time, and it is a question that is laser focused on for you.
Oh, I know that's yeah.
Because I read it I was like, oh, I got nothing. I got nothing for that. Sorry in advance. Yeah, I could not do that. If you, I don't know if you gave me an open book test on that, I don't think I could do that. If I'm being honest with you. So yeah.
Okay, I actually don't. I don't remember. I think I might be further back than I thought. So it just got lost to time. If you really want it, just resubmit it, and I apologize.
There you go.
So yeah, we will kick off with the one that I didn't do last week.
It's all you. You have the floor.
Xavier, you might want to check your account because you're showing up as a white name in the Discord now and not the executive producer Gold. Did I ask for new people to join the Patreon and then people are jumping off of that too? Is every effort that I have to no, they're still there. Okay, yeah, I don't know. You might want to check that.
Anyway.
Or I might have to go in and change your stuff. Anyway.
It's up to Julian, yeah.
Xavier says, you get to pick the debut MC. Oh, I didn't. Okay. I guess I didn't realize. I didn't catch that first part when I read it. You get to pick the debut MCU team of X-Men, but there are a few caveats. You must have 6 members on the main team. They can have support that largely stays at the mansion. You need to use X-Men from at least 3 different generations of the X-Men, i.e. original, giant size, 80s X-Men, New Mutants, etc. Yeah. And you have to include at least one character with a lower tier power, even if it's a power that can be exploited.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're fucked, Justin.
Yeah, I'm fucked. I got nothing.
I don't even know if you can name 6 X-Men.
I can
from
name
different
6
periods.
X-Men. From different periods? Yeah, go fuck yourself. There's no way. I don't... he was like, giant size X-Men. I'm like, I don't even know what that means. What the fuck does that mean? I have no idea.
We'll modify it for you, Justin. What are your 6 X-Men for an MCU movie? Like their first movie? What's the team you pick?
What should they be?
What do you want?
What do I want? Wolverine, Cyclops, Storm. I'm probably just doing the fucking 90s X-Men, Beast, Rogue, and then if I want a weirdo pick, I guess. I don't think I'd pick Jubilee. I'd Kitty Pryde maybe. It was cool. Yeah.
So I will answer, since I'm more well-versed, I can do it to the letter of Xavier's question. So the leader would be Storm.
Mm-hmm.
And then I would have Colossus as the muscle.
Mm-hmm.
And I would bring in, from another generation, I would bring in Sync, who was, I think he was the leader. No, he wasn't the leader. He was a founding member of Generation X. I don't know where he is anymore, but his ability is to synchronize with other people's powers, which leads to some really interesting things where you can kind of. He's almost like Go-Go from Final Fantasy VI.
Gotcha.
Marrow, who would be like kind of my lower power.
Marrow,
one.
Yeah, they were in Marvel vs. Capcom too. Yeah.
Marrow's pretty cool, and she had like kind of like this weird like when Chris Claremont came back in the 90s. She had this interesting like relationship with Colossus, so I'd like to play that up in a movie version. So that's 4 for a newer character, and I don't know a lot of the new characters, and I think a lot of them fucking suck because like they started to just get like, I don't know, this person has a shark for a head, and this person you can just they're just a sack of meat and they're see-through and you see all their organs, and I'm like, okay, that cool. But I think from the newer characters that I know, I would pick Quentin Quire, who is a very insufferable character, but I think he's also probably a pretty good foil to Storm as the leader and Colossus being like very much a rule follower, where Quentin Quire is a rule breaker. So I need one more.
Yeah.
I'm not Wolverine. Fuck you. He's not on my team.
Yeah, I mean, there's no way that an MCU movie will not have Wolverine in it, though. for
It
X-Men.
won't, but it shouldn't.
Well,
The
too
first
bad.
movie should not have Wolverine in it.
No, I kind of agree with you, actually. I think that would be the smart way, but there's too much money to not do that, so they're not going to do that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I've got it's a mostly younger group. I realize that I have now.
Yeah.
I guess with Quentin, Quentin, Sink, and Mara are all pretty young.
Yeah.
So maybe we need an older person to kind of balance it a bit. I'm trying to think of who's a good like older person that's not Magneto, because I fuck Magneto being on the team. I hate that shit.
That's always a weird thing to me. Yeah. It always seemed wrong.
Yeah. Man, this is actually a little harder than I thought.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it doesn't have to be an older guy. It can, I mean,
It doesn't,
you know.
but I'm just trying to, kind of have a decent spread, like what I would like as far as like potential conflict. Oh no, Banshee, he'd be perfect.
Okay, there you go.
Yeah, he's just grizzled enough,
Okay.
and then that also gives you a second flyer because I realize that Storm's the only one that can fly in that
Yeah.
scenario.
Well, there you
So
go.
yeah, there you go. That's my team.
You did it.
Hooray!
Hooray. I'm proud of you.
Yes.
I just named people that I knew.
Yeah.
That's,
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. I could have.
I don't know why
thrown in
Xavier was like, "Oh, Justin can do this."
I could throw in Nightcrawler if I want to get really weird. What's a really weird X-Men that I know?
If I wasn't constrained to 3 different eras, Nightcrawler would have also been on there because
Yeah.
Nightcrawler with Colossus is one of my favorite duos.
Yeah. Maybe Magic. Maybe I throw Magic in there. I don't know.
She's a popular
Yeah, she's
choice.
cool. Yeah. That's my weird pick because I really don't know.
Yeah. 60XL posted a question. It's like a meme question. If a
Yeah.
Transformer died, could you just use its body as a regular car? Like
Mhm.
respectfully though.
That's a good question, really, honestly. You probably is he asking if you can or if you should?
Both. I'm actually not sure if you would be able to drive the car if the
Right.
Transformer is dead.
Yeah, that's kind of what I was getting at. That's why I was asking.
Yeah,
you know?
like I don't know if you could actually do that because if the Transformer is functional enough to be driven,
Yeah.
I think it has to be alive.
I don't think they're they're never being driven, right? They're not letting a human drive them with a steering wheel.
There
As far as I
are times where humans have driven Transformers.
Okay.
Even as far back as like the Marvel comic.
Are they actually driving or do they just have their hands on the steering wheel?
No, there's a story it actually like really creeped me out when I was a kid. There's a 2-part story in the Marvel Comics run called where the Scraplets come to Earth, which are like it's these weird. They look like nuts and bolts, but they transform into these little robot pathogens. Basically, they're like a disease.
All right,
and
got it.
They transform into the nuts and bolts, and they screw in to the chassis of Transformers, and then they quickly replicate. They keep dividing and making new Scraplets, and it's like a wasting disease.
All right.
And so in that one, there's a human that ends up meeting Goldbug, who used to be Bumblebee.
Uh-huh.
And he gets infected with Scraplets, and at a certain point, the human is actually driving Goldbug because he can't propel himself.
Just checking. Checking. Okay, so there would be no way to drive them. I mean,
I don't think there would. There might be some lore somewhere that I'm not aware of that contradicts me, but I'm not. I don't purport to be like up on all Transformers shit. Like I've missed a lot of it.
You know better than me, bro. I'd have to consult my friend Lonnie about this. I know he knows a lot about Transformers too. Probably about as much as you or less. I don't know. Impossible to know. As far as should you, I mean, it's kind of like driving a taxidermied like corpse around at that point. Like if you if you somehow made the let's say you could somehow get it in a drivable state. You know, like you take everything out somehow and you put a new engine in there.
Seems in
It's
poor
kind of
taste.
like you're it's kind of like you're just like, you know, stuffing the deer you murdered, and then you're gonna like put wheels underneath of it and ride it down a hill. It's kind of like that, right? Like it's the same idea. So I don't think morally that's, I mean, you can do it, but morally, should you? Probably not.
Yeah.
I don't know.
No, I'm right there with you.
Yeah, especially like a deer, I'm even like a little bit more accepting of that, because I'm like, they don't really talk or anything, and you didn't met it, like you knew the fucking transformer, you talked to it or whatever. I assume it's weird. It'd be like, yeah, it's almost like doing it to like your grandmother at that point. It's very strange. Like, yeah, I don't think you should do that.
Never say the sentence "doing it to your grandmother" ever again, Justin.
Well, riding your grandmother isn't a good sentence either, Julian. So
let's just back it up. Back it up.
No, or keep moving forward. Either one.
Last comment, question, or concern in the Discord channel.
Yeah.
From Casey. What is a game you love but think you would have enjoyed more as a movie, show, book, or comic?
I'm glad I looked at this question ahead of time and have thought about it. I know my answer. My answer 100%. The hard part about this question is game I liked, because I can think of a lot of games that I think personally should have been shows and not actually games.
Game you love, actually, right? Because
Game
that
I
invalidates my knee-jerk answer, which is Undertale.
Right.
Because
exactly.
my thing with Undertale is like, I really wish I hadn't played that, and I wish I just watched a Let's Play.
Sure, right. Mine game I loved that would have worked better, and I'm going to say as a TV show, I think, is Red Dead Redemption 2. I loved Red Dead Redemption 2, but I mostly loved it because the story was great. As a game, I think it's just like there are certain parts of it that are kind of annoying. Like you can't get off the fucking guided path sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
Like I got into the immersion part of it a little bit, but at the same time, like I really just wanted to advance the story 9 times out of 10. Like I wasn't going off and doing all the hunting trips. I didn't get in near as into it as a lot of other people did.
Right.
That I wanted to see what was going to happen, and that story is worth it 100%. So yeah, that's my answer. That's because I did love that game, but I loved the story, and I think it would be really cool to like, you know, as like just this Western TV show. It would have worked for me. So yeah.
The game I love part is probably the big trip up.
That's the tough part. The only other one I thought of, I think they have made something with it, would be like the Ace Attorney games, because I think those would be like fun, like almost anime cartoon episodes or something like that could really work. But I feel like they did that already.
I'm sure there's an anime of
yeah,
Ace Attorney.
I'm pretty sure there is, actually.
There's definitely a live action movie.
Yeah. Why wouldn't there be?
You know, as much as I love them, I could probably be just fine with pick whatever Like a Dragon game you want.
Sure.
And just turn that into like a movie or like an anime series or something.
Sure.
And I think I'm enjoying it just as much as I am playing it, if not more, because I'm not feeling like, let's land the plane, guys. Let's just, you know, because it's going to be a little bit more focused than what the game experience is. It's probably the only one that I can really think of, because like for me, a lot of it is like the games that I really love are usually games where I'm like, I feel it like the gameplay melded with the storytelling is what I appreciate. Because my first thought was Alan Wake 2.
That was my
but like the part where you're walking through the level for Herald of Darkness is so much cooler than just watching
work
it
outside of a video game. Yeah.
100%.
Yeah.
And then same thing with like a lot of Kojima games, right? Because I was also like, oh, maybe Death Stranding, but like, no, literally, like the thing about Death Stranding that made it so effective is
that was a big one I thought of. I immediately scratched it off because I didn't love those games or that game in particular.
Right.
But I was like, but even I was like, yeah, but that whole thing doesn't work unless it's a video game. Like
if you just string the cutscenes together, it's like,
Yeah, I mean, even if you add like, okay, he's walking through some, vacant ass land in, the Netherlands or where, I don't know where the fuck they would put it, film it at. It doesn't matter. It'd just be like, okay, he's walking, okay, he gets to a place and he has some weird conversation and then he's back walking again. Like, it really defeats the point of the whole thing, like it only works as a video game. So yeah.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Good question though.
That is a good question. I really liked that one. And yeah, I was happy that one sprung into my brain. I was like, oh yeah, I got it. That's it.
I had put more thought into the X-Men one and then I forgot most of them. So I had to kind of scramble. I was like, I know I wanted Storm. And if for people wondering, because Cyclops is like my favorite X-Man and why I didn't pick him, I just feel that he's been pretty much completely destroyed over the last 20 years. So I was like, we'll just go with Storm.
Well, what if we brought him back strong, Julian?
They're never gonna do it.
Yeah, probably not.
He's either a whiny piece of shit or he's a terrorist.
Well,
that's it.
Can't he be both?
Sometimes he's a whiny piece of shit terrorist, Justin. Yes, sometimes he is that as well.
Okay, fantastic. I love it.
I think that's a show, Justin.
That's a show, Julian.
Yes. Reminder for patrons to get out there and vote for the next episode of the Suffer Select. And then the donation drive continues for the Giant Bomb ad campaign. Other than that, thanks as always to the wonderful Megan McDuffie for our theme song and interstitial tracks. Thanks to friend of the show, John Gholson, for being our announcer and providing us with our logo and artwork. But that's going to do it for this edition of the Stage Select. I've been Julian Titus. He's been Justin Ham. We've been the Stage Select. Signing off.
The Stage Select is copyrighted and owned by Space Monkey Mafia Productions, specializing in independent podcasting. Please consider sharing the show with your friends and support us by joining our Patreon or donating to our coffee. Thank you, and good night.